At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another edition of Friday Night Debate on Focus on Liberia. My name is Dennis Jah, and we are broadcasting from Atlanta, Georgia. In tonight's debate, we are just 4 days away from elections. That's the election scheduled for October 10, 2023. That's the general and presidential election. So with 4 days to go, somebody told me we can't eat crab with shame. Who's going to win? What are your predictions? What's going to happen? I mean, who has the who's going to win it and by what percentage? All these, and what are the people? What are the candidates doing right? What are they doing wrong? What are some of the major criticism against them that are going to torpedo or take votes away from them? All these we're going to be talking about tonight, plus more. I have my co-host or co-moderator, Mr. Ansony Sieh. Mr. Sieh, welcome to the show.
Dennis, it's good to be here. Let's do this. It's Friday Night Debate. It's on.
And with 4 days to go, the next time we have Friday Night Debate, we probably going to have a new president. Let me welcome the independent-minded Glendy Juniors. Glendy, welcome to the show. Glendy, you are muted.
Thanks, Dennis. Hello, everybody. It's good to be here.
Thank you. Again, let me welcome to the debate the unapologetic and unabashed sedition, Mr. Jerome Gaiman. Mr. Gaiman, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me on your platform. I am ready to rock and roll.
Let me also welcome Mr. P. Morris Kromah. He supports JNB and the Unity Party ticket. Perfect Manager, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dennis. It's good to be here.
Again, let me welcome a CPP Alexander Cummings supporter, Mr. J. Victor Nabwe, joining us from New Jersey. Welcome, Mr. Nabwe. Mr. Nabwe, you're muted.
Absolutely. I was trying to give you the space. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Let's do it.
Last and definitely not the least is our man from the nation's capital, Jimmy Eastman. Jimmy, welcome.
Hey, ready to go. We got a few more days to the elections, so let's see what we can make of it.
Thank you. This is our election night prediction, and check us out after. We're going to be here Friday, and we're going to cross-check what we have said concerning the elections. We want to welcome all our viewers from across the globe. Invite someone, invite a friend, and let's get this started. Mr. Sieh.
Dennis, thank you. It's Friday Night Debate, and it is time for the debaters to go into the issues. We are looking at prediction for the 2023 general and presidential elections. Our focus here is actually the presidential election. We want the debaters to be able to make their prediction tonight. Who will win it in first round, if there will be a first round winner, and who will make it to the second round should that happens. And not only that, you have to give reasons why you think that this person will win the first round or will make it to the second round. We will talk about the numbers. We have the numbers here. We have some of the numbers here as far back as 2005, 2017. We also have the numbers concerning the total register voters for 2023. We will look at all these numbers, and their prediction got to be based on something, the political narrative, the variables, and everything in between. We need meat. Don't just tell our GMB will win by 45%, given the variables and the numbers that inform your prediction. Friday Night Debate, let's get started. Dennis, Anthony Gay, you just came in. Welcome to Friday Night Debate. How you doing? You are from the CPP. You and my friend J. Victor Nabwe. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited. A few days to the general elections, and we are here discussing, the pathway and what will happen, what will not happen. I'm very excited, and I look forward to a very mature, spirited debate tonight. And so I cannot wait. Good evening to every one of you again.
All right. Thank you. To get the board rolling, we will start with your prediction first, and then we'll be looking at all the variables, the numbers, and everything in between that inform your prediction. We will start with the man who just came in from the CPP side, Anthony Gay, who was actually contested to be senator of Grand Jita County, but I know that things were not looking too good. But that's for another day. Hey, my friend, tell me, on October the 10th, after everything is said and done and counted, who will be winning first ballot? If not, who will be making it to the second round? With what percentage? What is your prediction?
So my prediction here tonight, first and foremost, is that this thing of first round victory does not exist. Okay. Giving the political parties, the number of political parties in the race, giving their political basis, and giving all of the different factors, right? There is under no circumstances currently that one political party will win this election. However, I'm very confident and excited. I want to say thanks to all the folks that work behind the scene, working the numbers and working for the CPP. We are clearly in the second round. And the beauty of this thing all is that any candidate against the CPP in the second round, the CPP wins. And that is the reason why we are very excited, because we have worked tirelessly and that work is paying off. And on October 10th, the Liberians who have worked so hard, they will see the candidate of choice going to the second round. I know some opponent out there will dismiss the CPP, and that it is their opinion to dismiss us. But we know we put in the work, and there is one good saying that says hard work pays off. And we're going to see that in this election.
You want to give an estimated percentage of which you will make it to the second round? What percentage you think will get you there?
Absolutely. 45% of the national vote will take us there. We will get that. We will not be able to make the 50% mark because of what I stated earlier. That's too many political parties, and these political parties have their bases and their supporter that has supporter will also vote for them. For example, George Weah has his supporting base that will not reject him, regardless whether you like it or not. They will show up.
Mr. Gate, thank you. Thank you so very much. Mr. Kroman, same question. What is your prediction? We need a percentage. It's an estimate. Don't be shy to say that. And tell us who you think will make it to the second round. If there would not be second round, somebody will win on the first round, who will do it and with what percentage?
Look, this is a very easy question. I think all of us here, unless we're being disingenuous, we know that this race is a two-horse race. It's between the CDC, the establishment, and the Unity Party, Joseph and Boycott. Well, all of us know that. It's just unless we're not paying attention to what is happening in the country. You see the president going on all these campaign tours. He has never mentioned anyone else in this entire election besides JMB, because he knows that's the person that is on his neck. And I honestly we've crunched all of the numbers. We know that this is a potential one-round victory for JMB. I'll tell you, it's a 51.2% victory for JMB. We'll break it down county by counties, and I'll give you an estimate of how each of those counties are going to deliver for the ruling Unity Party.
All right. Thank you. Let's come to the man who supports the ruling establishment, Mr. Jaron Gateman. Mr. Gateman, I know you said we're not talking second round, yet first round. What percentage will you win with? What is your prediction?
Well, we are looking at 55% of the vote first round. And we had an independent pollster on the ground that did the polling. And you will be surprised that Joseph Walker won in the districts in Liberia, in Montserrat. The closest he ever came to winning was district number 5, where you were leading 43% to CDC's 38%. And then if you went into the CDC stronghold, the number shows that President Weah was leading 68% to 18%. When you look at the numbers between our losses in their district and their losses in our district, there is no comparison that this thing is not going well for Mr. Joseph Boakai and his team.
Thank you. J. Victor Number, your prediction, any percentage, first or second round?
Yeah, thank you very much, Brother Sieh. When Mr. Goodman speaks of an independent poster, I wish we would call a name for once, so that we could all go to that source and inquire as to what the basis of their polling is. I don't think there's going to be any candidate who would take, more than 50% in the first round. I don't think so. Look, let's be realistic here. President Weah is very popular. We know the last time he came away with 38% of the vote, and we think that percentage is pretty much locked in. He might improve on it, and probably bring in around 40, 42%. If he does bring in even 42%, that leaves about 58% of the vote to the rest of the 19 candidates. For the CPP, if we get 25% of that, that's about 14, 15% of it. We think we'll go into the second round. Remember, in this race, there are a lot of moving parts. Don't discount Dr. Moneyback. Don't discount Councilor Gonglo. Don't discount Ms. Beslow. There are lots of people in here who are going to take votes away. So all we are looking for is to get past the primary and go into the second round. And we think if we get 20%, we'd have had a good day.
And you think that 20% will take you to the second round? So that is your prediction?
Absolutely. Look, it's not rocket science, Ansony, right? If we assume the president goes away with 42%, which I think is a heavy lift for this president, but even if we were to assume he did that, now you look at 58% among 19 candidates. I mean, everyone's going to take a piece, and we think if you came away with 20%, that's a giant share of the 58%, and we think that would take you into the second round. So we are looking at the numbers, and like I keep saying, we're feeling pretty good at where we're sitting.
And how much of that 58 is going to go to Mr. Boakai, you think?
I wish I could say that, but I'm not going to be here tonight to be a Boakai prognosticator. I think it's people are doing it.
No, but Boakai will get votes, right? So how much you think that's going to be?
I don't know. I know the last time he came away with 27%, if I'm not mistaken.
So if CDC will maintain their 38, why is it that Boakai is not maintaining his 27?
Because there are a lot of people now. You didn't have the money by running out of Lofa the last time. You remember, I think Lofa County was the only county that his vice president won, if I'm not mistaken.
In the first round?
In the first round. So now you have Dr. Moneyback. He's going to take away some of the votes. And there are other candidates that are just as appealing. Ms. Beslow just came in. We think Councilor Gonglo is doing pretty good. We think he's going to take some of the votes. So we think if anything is going to happen, the vice president 27% is going to dwindle. It's going to diminish.
All right, thank you, Jimin. I know you wear the independent cap here, but you have been following, given the way things are. What may be your prediction on a possible first round victory or a possible second round, which is the runoff?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Jimmy, go ahead.
Okay, so I think this time we're going to get a surprise. I think there's some dark horses in the race that are going to steal away a lot of votes from the incumbent and from the UP party. It would be such a surprise that some of the people that we think should be in the runoff will not make it to the runoff. So that's what I predict. I predict a large share going to some of the runner-ups from last.
And Jimmy, if you can hear me, you are saying the big names we believe have better chances of making it to the second round. Maybe one of them might not. Do you know of the one who might narrowly not make it to the second round?
Give us some numbers here, Jimmy. Jimmy, you can go Ghana Vic something on us, man. Let's go to Glendy.
Is he using Ghana Vic internet or something?
Yeah.
All right. Glendy, we're talking prediction yet, and no one's going to hold your throat about your prediction, right? This is just to make the conversation unique. So tell us, what's your prediction? Why your predictions? And if you can assign some percentages, we appreciate that.
So I don't know if I can assign percentages. I think I can just base on observations and what we've seen. Even in this last week, seeing what President Weah is doing, I think this is probably going to be a surprise for some of us. That's my prediction, or that's what I'm thinking, that I think it's almost going to be a boycott Cummings thing. I think President Weah may not get the numbers he had before, because some of the numbers he's had from his whatever 30-something% he had before may have been taken away already by Ambassador Boycott. So I will be very surprised if President Weah is able to pull to be able to go to the second rounds. That's my prediction. I don't think he's doing quite well, because if he was, compared to 2017, it's almost like he's going to be out in the campaign until Tuesday morning. That's what it seemed, and I don't think it's looking pretty good for him. I think when you look at who has more prominence right now, I think you can hear a lot of a noise in a good way coming from the boycott camp. I just think people have gravitated more to boycott because President Weah has a record that's not good. And so I'm thinking it's a Cummings and boycott thing, where Weah will not do as well as he did before in 2017.
Thank you, Glendy. So what we'll go do next is to look at the 2017 numbers and see which one of the candidates will be able to grow their number, and which one of the candidates will not be able to grow their number. And so, as Jimmy put it, my surprisingly did not make it to the second round. Here are the numbers for the first round in the 2017 election. President Weah got 38.37%. That is 596,000. Followed by Vice President Joseph Yuma Boakai, who netted 446,716 votes, amounting to or representing 28%. Followed by Charles Walker Bronskin, 149,495 votes, representing 9.6%, and Prince Johnson, 127,000, representing 8%, and Alexander Benedict Cummings with the popular 7.2%, representing 112,000 votes. Gentlemen, I'm going to start with you, Victor, this time. Which one of the candidates, looking at these percentages and numbers, will be able to grow theirs? Who will not be able to grow theirs, and why?
You know, I have to agree with my sister here, my fellow Scorpion sister, Glenning, Cardinal sister. If you look at the graphics you just had out there, the last time around, Senator Johnson was supporting President Weah. And Senator Johnson came a decent 8%. Today, where is he? He is with Ambassador Boakai. And that's a good chunk of the vote that's going with him. Now, does that mean he's going to pull 8% again? I doubt it. You know, the Nimba people love Senator Johnson, but he does well when he is the presidential candidate. So we know he may not pull that 8% again, but yet he is going to take some votes away from the president. So in that way, we think Ambassador Boakai is going to take some of the votes from Ambassador Weah. If you put out the graphics again, Charles Walker Bromskin was a candidate on the ballot. He is not. But Charlene Bromskin is a vice presidential candidate. Now, is Councilor Bromskin going to pull another 9%? No, because he's not on the ballot. But do we think part of that 9% is coming to us? Absolutely. Absolutely. We think the Bassa Belt is going to play a significant role in this election, in this cycle. And we think Councilor Bromskin being on the ticket is also going to help us significantly. So in that way, yes, we had a 7%, and everyone loves to talk about the 7%. We love to talk about the 7%. Actually, we love that we took some. Mr. Cummings came 7% when he had only been 18 months in the political space. Okay. This time around, he has been there a full election cycle. He has got people gotten to know him, and we really know that people are gravitating towards him. I've heard some of the commentators on the various platforms talking about, Cummings is starting to peak, but it's too late. Yeah, you're only noticing that now, but we knew that a long time ago. We knew that a long time ago. It's like those of us who follow football or here. You don't want to pick in the early season of, the regular season. You want to pick coming towards the end because all the injuries and things people would have recovered and all of that. And we really think right now we're in a good place. So we think we're gonna garner a lot of votes. Is President we are going to add to what he got before? I doubt it. One, he has a record now that he's running on. He didn't have a record before. And people have seen what his president has done.
Let me stop you, Victor. In your first speech, you said President Weah was going to have 42%.
Yeah, and
I said later you are saying something else.
I said I was being very generous. He is an incumbent, Dennis.
Right.
That has something to do. He is a sitting president. Our people love the president. The president cry everywhere he goes because people want to see the president.
But now instead of the president growing his numbers, you said the numbers going to go down by more than half. How do you reconcile that?
Even though in your initial summation you grew his number from 38 to 44%.
No, I never said the president is going to go down by more than half.
No, if you agree with Glendy that Cummings and Bwaka are going to the second round, it means the president's
No. I didn't agree with her. I didn't agree with her on that. What I said was I agree with her that the president is going to lose some of the support that he had.
But said the president is not going to the second round.
He's going to counterbalance that because he is in the executive mansion. And this is why I said he came down with what, 38%. We think he might do a 40 to about 42%. A certain president should be doing way better than that. But we know how this president is struggling. So this is the basis of my prediction that I don't know if Ambassador Bwaka is going to be in the second round, but I know the CPP is going to be in the second round.
Mr. Number, thank you. Let us welcome Comrade Joe Wilson. I understand is supporting former Vice President Joseph Yimabwaka. Comrade Joe Wilson, welcome to Friday Night Debate. First, we want to get your prediction. You can assign percentages if you wish, and then we will talk about now we are talking about the 2017 numbers. Which are the candidates, especially those who participated, will be able to grow their percentages of votes, and which candidate will not be able to do so and might not ultimately make it to the second round. So your prediction first, based on all that you know.
And Mr. Sieh, let me mention that Joe was calling has the ECMO to help to help do all.
You did this guy, man. Come on.
Who called you? Why would you think that I'll be afraid to have a conversation about this?
All right, go ahead.
Don't ask me. He said, Joe. So I'll let you explain that before.
I see Jerome is texting Elvis to come on too.
I'm a big fan of Focus on Liberia, right? I do follow Focus on Liberia. I've been invited a couple of times, but because of my tight schedule, right? Many times I disappointed Dennis. I would say that he called on me, but my schedule wouldn't permit me. I work downtown. To commuting from downtown DC back home in Woodbridge, a lot of things, and I really don't.
I work the Sieh route. I work DC. I live Woodbridge. Same route.
Let's find to connect and the Glenn. So let's find to connect. So coming on has always been a challenge, for me.
So the show can I share the show in our chat room and message. Why the man invite me to the show?
However, however, we have
to make it count on. That's how
Yeah.
I wasn't looking for a sister.
Let's go on, Joe. I said that was a joke.
Yeah, don't forget now, Maurice Clement worked in the poverty lab before.
Exactly.
This man has a very strong understanding of the economy of Liberia, and he went to one of the best development studies schools in the United States. So let's have that clear out. However, it's good to be here. Thanks for the invite, the opportunity, and hats off to all of you panelists here tonight, including those who watching the show. Right. So, Joseph Boyka, what's my prediction? Two things. Well, in an extreme prediction, I would say it is very likely that Joseph Boyka will have the 50+1 votes in the first round. It is very likely. Very, very likely. However, in the worst case scenario, right, we are looking at even at the 50, between the 45 and 50% of the first round vote. And to simplify things, we're gonna beat George Weah in the first round. That is a fact. Joseph Boyka will likely go to the second round as the winner of the first round. If we don't win the first ballot, we're gonna win the first round. And the numbers are clear. If you want to take a look back in 2017 and do an analysis of the numbers just from anecdotal evidence, you can see that Joseph Yuma Boyka, who won 38% of the vote just by the number we're looking up here, and also based on the dynamics that have happened, we have the MDR of Prince Johnson, who is supporting us wholeheartedly, who hasn't experienced any sort of split from Nema County and other parts of the country. If you look at the Liberty Party, which of course is heavily supporting the Unity Party, is part of the alliance, you can see that the numbers are trending toward Joseph Yuma Boyka. So if the majority of our registered voters will come out to vote, we are going to beat George Weah and the rest of the opposition in the first round. But we are shooting for the first ballot because by defeating George Weah and the likes on the first ballot, it saves Liberia a lot of money, right? That we don't have to spend unnecessary money to go to second round. So if you're watching the show, if you have a family in Liberia, pick the phone and call them to save the country from additional cost. Go and vote for Joseph Yuma Boyka so that we put this thing on the first ballot and save the country from spending additional money in second round. So that is my sort of prediction, and that is where I stand for now.
Mr. Wilson, I'd like to quickly correct you when you say the Liberty Party. Please, I want you to indicate that section of the Liberty Party of which you speak.
When I say the Liberty Party,
it's not out of the. Okay, go ahead.
Political party, in elections, when we talk about political party, we're not talking about the fact. We're not talking about the papers. We are talking about the numbers. And we know what the numbers are. We know who controls the numbers. We know that Yomli Kanga Lawrence is the leader of the political party with vast influence who controls the numbers. Musa Bedete is just on the shenanigans. So I'm sorry to say, but CPP, Musa Bedete is of no political value to you. He's even strongly in the district.
Thank you. I'm glad you said that. I just want you to make that distinction when you talk about the Liberty Party.
I'm talking about the numbers. I'm talking about the numbers.
Remember, the moderators are here, please.
You're not going to take over my job.
Make that distinction, please.
What is the distinction? We're talking about the numbers. The majority of the party is supporting.
Okay, so Mr.
Musa Bedete going to win his district.
Mr. Jack, I will not take over the.
Both of you made a point of discounting Tiawan Se Gonglo in Nima.
Thank you.
Saying that since Prince Johnson is with the Unity Party, Nimba will go for. We all know the dynamics of the upper and lower Nimba. Why are you discounting Gonglo?
Look, Dennis, let me be clear here. Listen. Prince Johnson has always contested Nima, and has always won a tsunami vote.
Mr.
Prince Johnson was contesting.
Listen.
I come in. Listen, let me
allow the moderators to do their work, please.
It's not professional to allow the man to speak.
No, don't tell me about professionalism. You are not more professional than anybody here.
I
don't want to hear that. We want you to speak to the point. Okay, he cannot dominate it. He cannot dominate this stuff. Mr. Wilson is talking garbage. You want to tell me how?
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia. From education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology, Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jah.
Gentlemen and ladies, we respect you all. That's why we invited you to participate in this debate. We are the moderators. Allow us to moderate. If it is a time to speak, if there's something you want to clarify, you can so do. The audience who are listening, they want to follow you. So let's do that. Comrade Joe Wilson, you are protected. You can end your thoughts, please.
Thank you. So what I was going to say, Prince Johnson, Senator Johnson have always contested. He have always wanted tsunami vote in Nima, and not just Nima, but across all the country. He has managed to have pocket-sized votes, on his side. In 2017, there was what's the name, Dopo. I just don't remember. Mr. Weah appointed him to the Ministry of Education.
Alex Dopo.
Alex Dopo. He's from Nima. He contested, right? But Prince Johnson wanted a tsunami vote. Tiawong said Gongla is not going to do. It's not going to make any much of an
as vice president and Prince Johnson as president. Now Tiawong is contesting as president. But I got your point. Mr. Sieh, go ahead.
Thank you, Dennis. We'll come to Mr. Anthony Gay. Mr. Anthony Gay, we are still discussing the numbers from the 2017 election first round. Dennis, you can put the numbers on the screen. We want to know which of the candidates, especially those who participated, will be able to grow their numbers, and which candidate will not be able to grow their numbers, and why would that lead to?
So I'll begin by saying absolutely, and I'm very excited that you posted this number today. Here's the thing. President Weah will struggle. Why? President Weah's percentage of winning in the Southeast will not be the same. I can tell you 2 counties today, President Weah will not win for free. Maryland County and River G. Those 2 counties, President George Weah will not be able to win those 2 counties. CPP is in control in those 2 counties. Another place, I will tell you again, the Unity Party will not win a single county in the entire Southeast. I challenge them tonight on their show. The Unity Party will not win a single county in the entire Southeastern region.
And the reason why?
And here's the reason why. The Unity Party does not have a presence. It was just a recent, the VP of the vice running mate of the Unity Party who just went in the Southeast. And they're bragging that, they're going to win, they're going to win. Mr. Cummings have been in the Southeast multiple times and already in the Southeast again, climaxing this campaign, right? Another supporter, Joseph Juman Bwaka, on Vanish Saki on another network, I'm not going to publicize another network name here, said that, JMB have campaigned more than Cummings. Why can you lie like that? But let's say this. Why the CPP stands a better chance today is that in 2017, with the number we're looking at, there was no collaboration with the ANC. It was just Mr. Cummings, a businessman who came to the country and joined our politics 18 months to the election, and he put out this number. Now, there is a collaboration. Cummings' presence in the country for a very long time, since 2017, been working and reaching out to the Liberian voters. The correlation, and that's it, the collaboration, not correlation, the collaboration have gained ground. Grand Bassa County was never in our corner. Grand Bassa and River Says is now in our corner. We will win, and will win significantly in Maserado County. In 2017, Mr. Cummings came third in Maserado County. People should remember this. Today, we are confident that we can get up to 28% of the total vote in Maserado County. I'm saying it. That's over 300,000 votes. Folks, we are in this thing to win. And the last point I want to make here is that the Unity Party folks will always dismiss the CPP. You know why? That's the only nightmare that they cannot handle. Because JMB and George Weah in the second round, JMB wins. But JMB and Cummings in the second round, Cummings win. Cummings and Weah in the second round, Cummings win. So this is the reason why they will always dismiss this argument. Now, in 2017, another statistical evidence here is that in 2017, there was no challenger, serious challenger in Lofa County. Today, there is CDC presence in Lofa County. There is Dr. Manuba factor in Lofa County. Then the fourth point I want to make here is that Tawan Gonglo was never in the race before. Today is a man of integrity. And this man is running from a vote.
How do elements you just mentioned benefit the CPP to grow its number?
Those elements that I mentioned benefit because the United Party will not. Joseph Yuma Bwaka won by 78% of the total vote in Lofa County. He cannot pull up that number any longer. Though he can win Lofa County, I'm not disputing that fact, but not at 78% of the vote. Just that George Weah will win Randy there, but not at that higher level again. Because again, you heard President we are making an excuse. Oh, the road not built to the southeastern region because rainfall. So the rain been falling in Liberia for the past 6 years. So we never had a solution, right? You can hear the kind of defeating statement coming from a political leader. So the reason why United Party don't want second round talking, oh, don't waste money, because they are afraid of the CPP.
Thank you. And you are assuming that the United Party will meet the CPP in the second round, is that correct?
Definitely, the CPP is already in the second round based on our numbers, based on the work that we put in, based on what we've been working on for years.
I want to hear from the unabashed.
And then before we get to unabashed, let me welcome my dear lawyer friend, Tevi Cole. Tevina, welcome. How you doing?
What's up?
You are muted, Tevi.
Evening. My apology for being late. I'm glad to be on this Friday and to share space with everybody.
Thank you, and we appreciate your presence today. This is Friday Night Debate. The first question we ask the debaters, we want prediction. Do you have any prediction as to who might win the first round, if there will be any, or who will make it to the second round with any numbers that you may be thinking about?
That's a tricky question. On the local thing, it's hard to predict. I saw a video, I think it was today, where even in George Weah's stronghold, the people are saying they want to rescue. So I'm confused now. Even though they try to spin it to say they want to rescue mother, but we're not stupid here, right? We know they were talking about a rescue, who their rescue was, and this is nothing in favor of Mr. Workers' Party, but just stating the obvious. So I don't know. It's hard.
And do you think who might be able to grow their 2017 numbers, and any reason why that will happen?
I think Mr. Cummings will grow it. Oh gosh, this light. Yo, sorry, my light is misbehaving. I think Mr. Cummings will grow his number a little bit, based with the Charlene Bronskin factor. But I don't know how far it's going to get them to, closer to the ballot. I mean, to the mansion. That's my concern. I don't think it's going to get them very far. I heard
the Charlene factor that might grow their number. Any other thing you think that may help to grow their numbers?
Well, certainly the campaign strategy has changed. The Mr. Cummings that we knew for 2017 is not the same Mr. Cummings now. He's more personal. He's reaching out. He's being more, applying more people's skills. Quite honestly, he's getting down to the the typical Liberia way of engaging people.
What are you talking about? He dancing more now? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, he can dance. I mean, you gotta relate to the people now. You gotta dance to the drums. So, but he's more engaging. That's how I would say he's engaging the people more and more. He applying more, people's skills. The Mr. Cummings that we saw years back, no, he was doing it the real corporate America way. Come to me, I'm the boss, kind of. But now,
and tell me quickly, what do you think of the CDC? You think President Weah will grow his numbers or not?
No, take a shot. This light. Let me take my light down because it's misbehaving. I'm disappointed with what I'm seeing with Mr. Weah. But I think the Liberian people are tired. And they're bold enough now to say how they feel. Before they were afraid, or because you gave me rice, or you paid my child school fees. But now I think they're immune to poverty, so they don't care. You know, damn if you do, damn if you do not. I'm gonna speak my mind, and they're speaking their mind. So I don't, you know, I I don't know what to say with Mr. Weir. I don't think.
Give us some numbers here. Who's going to win these elections? Tell me.
Don't call me no passport. I'm gonna cost my whole generation tomorrow.
It's just prediction.
No, there will be no first round winner for sure. There'll be no first round winner. I mean, it's clear.
And then who will be the 2% that will make it to the second round then?
Obviously, Mr. Weir and Mr. Boycott.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's come to the unabashed, unrepentant, unbending sedition. Mr. Chairman, Ansony is saying that your numbers not going to grow at all. And your numbers will actually drop in the Southeast. What say you in terms of growing the numbers of 2017? You think you can do it?
Let me first address Mr. Wilson's diabolical, dishonest state on here. First, the reason I like to discuss issues when people are talking facts, you can discuss your own opinion, okay, but you are definitely not entitled to your own facts. When someone sits on this platform and says Nyobli Kanga has the number secured, to me, it sounds so disingenuous. How can one person say, because Nyobli Kanga I'm from Grand Bassa County, and the fact is, even Prince Johnson said in the executive meeting with Joseph Boyka, the reason for not picking Nyobli Kanga was that her base was unstable. That's a fact. And for Mr. Wilson to sit here and discount that, to me, it hurts me because he's trying to spin what is factual. This is what Joseph Boyka said. And this was one of the reasons why she was not picked. And I was in Grand Bassa County when Nyobli Kanga won. Nyobli Kanga won with the slimmest of margin because of Mr. Musa ability. Cummings put a lot of resources into that campaign. Europe put a lot of resources into that campaign. So these people, the investment are coming, especially Cummings and Musa ability into that campaign. She won by 2,000 votes. And for someone to sit on here and tell me about my county that she has the key as though it's in a lockbox. Since the election of 2017, 2020, nobody have died. Nobody have moved away. It sounds to me like somebody who is totally naive of electioneering or election engineering.
Mr. Gilman, are you taking it personal?
Yes, especially when it comes to the numbers.
I hope I'll respond, right?
When it comes to the numbers, when today is Friday and somebody say it's Thursday, then if today is Friday and somebody say it's Thursday, then that means the person either think that we are all off a little bit, and you got to put them back in mind that we are not off. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Gamer is upset because somebody is spinning.
Yes.
Gentlemen,
if I may add, the person who gave Nyobli Kanga the runs was Basanga Phillips.
Mr. Number, I'm not sure you've been recognized yet.
Okay.
Yeah, and I want to give Joe something here. Joe, you only have a few seconds to respond because now your time here you spoke. But just for the, that's I using my judgment here. I'm the Jesus Christ here, Dennis will say, even though I'm not Jesus.
Where Jesus?
So, Comrade Wilson, in the election between Basanga and Nyobli Kanga Lawrence, she struggled.
Absolutely.
It was a close race. So to say that, she's the master of moving the numbers and she controls like Grand Bassa County, I'm paraphrasing you here, because all you try to say is she is the one the people of Bassa look up to when it comes to voting for a side in any political contest. The numbers didn't show that when she went against Basanga Fini of the CDC. So how can you say so?
We'll have to make some corrections here. The first
Please
thing, you are using your own words.
Yeah.
When I spoke of the leadership of Nyobli Kanga Lawrence, I did not limit her to Grand Bassa County.
Okay.
So that is the first thing. And I think Mr. Gaiman is living in his own bubbles that he's not paying attention to the details. I'm not responsible.
And has she moved any numbers nationally for you to not move to Grand Bassa?
Just give me a moment. The Liberty Party encompasses Grand Bassa County. The Liberty Party is not limited to Grand Bassa County. Let's get that straight. So when we say Yomli Kanga Lawrence is the leader of the Liberty Party who controls the numbers of Liberty Party, that cuts across Grand Bassa, Mangibi, Bombay, Bon, and other places in Liberia. When Charles Walker Bromsky contested as president on the Liberty Party, consistently, you know what position the Liberty Party came. And those votes were not based on the votes alone from Grand Bassa County. So you cannot limit the influence of the Liberty Party and Senator Lawrence to that of Grand Bassa County. We agree
that Senator Lawrence has not contested in a presidential election. You are giving an instance about somebody who contested in a presidential election.
No, what you are missing is a political party, a political party that contested in a presidential election.
Joe, can I jump in here 1 minute, Joe? I mean, to diffuse the argument here, Joe, let me just add just one small statistics. So Bromsky ran in 2017.
So you're trying to buffer him now? You're here for that?
I'm adding to what Joe is saying so that
he called for Ackerman. So let's give him
that. I want
Mr. Namwe, I'll come with to you, please.
I want you to understand the point that Joe is making here. Bromsky ran in 2017. He got a total of 149,000 votes, right? But in Grand Bassa County, he got 49,000 votes. What does that tell you? It tells you that beyond Grand Bassa County, the Liberty Party have votes all across the country beyond Grand Bassa County. That's simple logic. But even if you take the argument that Gaiman is attempting to make, that is about Grand Bassa County and him, the fact that Yombli has won that seat twice is also a demonstration that she has a stake in the county, that there are more people in the county that is comfortable with her leadership than the other people that ran against her. Right?
All right, thank you. Point made.
Statistics that you can prove.
Thank you. Point made. Mr. Namwe, your turn, sir. We're talking about growing the numbers. We will not be able to grow the numbers and how it will play out as to who wins first, or we'll go to the second round.
You know, I'm listening to my brother Wilson here and Kroma here, and listening to them, it is no wonder the UP is where it is. You know, and these are people who are growing their party on a sand foundation, a sandy foundation. Bromsky came third in the elections. He may have won 49% of the vote, but he won only Bassa County. If you go back to the 2070 votes, just that one county threw him into third place. Don't forget that. When we sit here and say Yombli Kanga got the vote, even Bwaka of all people knew she didn't have.
Are you talking about 2017?
No, Morris, don't do that, please.
No, I just want to confirm that he's talking about 2017.
Yes.
Okay.
So
I'm not right, but okay, go ahead.
You can correct me later on when I'm done. Thank you. So even Bwaka of all people knew that Yombli doesn't have the numbers. That's why she's not vice president today, even though she campaigned vigorously. Darius Dillon was printing, and others, more Ali, they were printing t-shirts, make me vice president. And still, Bwaka saw the numbers, and he said, no, you can't help me here. So when we talk about, Yombli owns the numbers in Liberty Party, we like that. Let him go ahead and believe that. And this is why we know they're not going into the second round, because they're the same people who said, we're so popular, we don't need money. Our people will come to us whenever we're ready. Today, they're on Spoon TV, begging Stanton Witherspoon to host fundraisers for them because they can pay pool watchers. When they should have taken the time to grow the money, they were here playing around, unserious, and here we are. We're a few days from pool watching. They don't have money to pay the pool watchers.
Speculation, though.
Building the party.
Speculation.
These people are building their party on a sandy foundation. We know we have on next Friday when we sit here
on the floor, please.
We'll be congratulating each other, but we know we'll be happier than some people here tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Namwe. And Mr. Cromer, it's your turn. We're talking about growing the numbers or not being able to grow the numbers and what that will lead to. Your turn.
Yeah, so I'm glad that it's finally my time. But here's the argument that I want to make to you, and I want to correct Mr. Nangwe before even presenting my argument about the numbers. In 2017, Charles Walker Bromskin got 49,989,000 votes in Grand Bassa County. I just posted it. If you want a link, I'll send the NEC link to you so you can see the data. That is the NEC official data from the election. It's not my number.
Just Grand Bassa?
Just Grand Bassa County. 50% of the votes in Grand Bassa County was for Charles Bromskin for the 9,889 votes. Grand Bassa County. But if you take Charles Bromskin total number for the, and this is the argument I want to make for 2023, because if you take Charles Walker Bromskin total number for 2017, that is the difference between the difference between Unity Party numbers and CDC number in the first round of the election. 149,000 votes. That is the difference. Just do the math. So you get about 150,000 people that did not support neither Joseph Boakai or you call it Josh Weah. So, but it also means if Bromskin wasn't in the race, if other opposition figures are not in the race, people would have chosen either Boakai or they would have chosen Josh Weah as the alternative, right? Now that you have all these people, you have given Weah 6 years of leadership, whatever. Things gone bad, things really gone south, and everybody knows that unless you're somewhere else. This is a two-horse race, like I said from the beginning. You have a JMB and you have Josh Weah. All of us know that, and we can make all the assumption that CPP will make it the second round. That's fine, and I'll see on the show here today before next week Friday. If CPP is able to accumulate up to 250,000 votes in this 2023 elections. Next week, I will join CPP officially as a member. I will join CPP and I will be.
Yeah, record it, push on the tip.
Beyond, please record it, because beyond just joining,
I'm holding you right now.
$1,000 in CPP in CPP bank account if they accumulate more than 250,000 votes in this election. There are 2.4 million.
If Maserado alone, we can get a number. Just Maserado alone.
Chief, please, just give me 1 minute. Let me finish.
Thank you.
All your thing you want to talk.
Let's wait for your 1,000.
Let me talk about I'm making a commitment. The other thing is that there are 2.4 million people that are registered to vote. I'm
2.1. 2.1.
2.4. Unless the number changed recently, but it's 2.4 that I have. So I guess I was right.
We got the numbers here.
Yeah, so the number one
part. Looking at.
Yeah, the amount of error there. We got a number amount of error there. So
what's the source of this data? How can we trust this data?
It's website.
This is a National Election Commission.
It's live. The number is there. So in the Southeast, you put all the Southeast counties together. All the Southeast, Grangeda, Maryland, River, Sino, River Cess. You put them together, that number accumulates to 307,000 votes. That's almost the same number as Nima County. Right? If you take all the Southeast county, put them together, it's the same number as Nima County. But Prince Johnson in Nima County in 2017 won 100, just a little over 100,000 votes in 2017. And somebody is sitting on the show here today and saying that Prince Johnson may not get 100,000 votes. That's okay. It's okay to make that assumption. All we know is that Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Kun are the two senators of Nima County. They are in the same camp. In that same 2017 election, United Party was able to accumulate at least 30% of the vote in Nima County at the time. So if you put these two people in the same camp, it means the Nima County votes is already locked in. And you can make all the predictions you want about Nima County. I will tell you publicly right now, if United Party also don't get up to 75% of the vote in Nima County, then they didn't do well.
Thank you. Thank you. I will come to.
I'd like to make a correction. He said he was correcting me, although I didn't see the correction. And I say again.
All right, Mr. Number, you got 30 seconds.
Bromskin won Grand Bassa County. I didn't say whatever you said, but what I said was the only county that he won was Bassa County, and that was sufficient to put him into third place. That's what I said. And you said I was wrong. You came to correct me, but I didn't hear the correction.
Thank you. Let me come to the independent people here, Glendy and Tavi, and then Jimmy. I'll give you guys something different. I want to talk about the turnout. Voter turnout sometimes tend to move the numbers in different direction or change the dynamics a little bit. In 2005, the turnout was around 74%. I think 2005 first round was 71, and the second round in November was about 72%. Coming down, the percentages, the turnout started dropping all the way to 60, 40, and 50, and so the numbers have been coming down. And if you look at the electorates, if you look at the voters, the size that they support, if you look at the enthusiasm on each side, it tends to inform you when there's a low voter turnout, who it might favor a little bit. So put on your taking care here, we're talking numbers here and the influence of poor voter turnout. Let's start with you, Tavi. You like numbers. If the turnout would be low, as it has been in the past, if we look at the numbers all around 36, 37%, that is far different from 2005 and 2011. Who you think it would benefit?
Well,
focus on the enthusiasm right now and the momentum.
Or do you think there's going to be high turnout?
Huh?
I say, or do you think there'll be high turnout?
I mean, even if you can't say, because if the turnout is low, who is going to favor? You got to look at the people. You got to look at the age, the average, the registered voter, the average, the age bracket. You have to consider that most of the people that are running around now, they're the young people. They're young people in the streets. So you got to keep an eye on them. Most of those are the ones that are going to be voting. The older people, they're tired. They think that nothing's going to change regardless of who's in power. Nothing's going to change. So even if the percentage is low, you have to look at who are the people that are coming out there. The 60% that's coming out, the 50% that's coming out. Who are those people? What the age group? Are they mostly young people? And that's what we're seeing. They're mostly young people that are out there. So I don't know.
So let look at the mourning in the country. Are Liberians angry? Who are they angry against? Are they angry against the establishment? And so if they are to make a statement, against whom are they making a statement? In whose favor would they be making a statement? That will influence the voter turnout. Looking at that dynamic, you think how the turnout will be and who it will favor?
Well, for the most part, the Liberian people are angry. So they're going to vote against the ruling establishment. But keep in mind, though, even though we're saying they're angry from the local, I think they're saying angry, but money can influence anything. So even though they're angry, but the day before election, if somebody come to me and tell me, I will pay your child whole year school fees, I'm going to pay your rent for 1 year, give you all these goodies, I'm not angry anymore. I'm going to vote for George Weah. And that's what we've been seeing. All
right. Glendy, your take.
And before you go to Glendy, historically, we see that it's the old people that vote, right? Young people, they're just excited. They're drunk on election day. And they don't vote.
I disagree with you on that.
But statistics are showing that.
And you think the older people vote?
Glendy is protected, guys. Glendy is protected.
Yeah, I disagree with Dennis.
No, but where your numbers coming from if you disagree that the young people vote more than the adults?
So, but the first thing we have to confirm in terms of the total registered voters, what is the age dynamics? Have you confirmed that?
No, we're talking about voter turnout.
No, but listen, about voter turnout, listen, the first thing in 2023, you got to know what is the demographics of the voters, right? And days and out, this 2023, our population has changed compared to 1997.
No, I get that. I get that.
We have more than 65%, pretty close to 65% or more of our population are young people, right? And then margin of the people who are registered, just 2.4 million. A lot of young people have registered in the elections.
I know.
Many more young people will vote, compared to previous elections. So the demographics have changed. So I don't think that young people just.
What are you basing that on? That more young people are going to go to the vote?
Yeah, more young people will vote, compared to
based on what?
previous election.
What are you relying on to say that?
Based on the current demographic statistics of our country, based on the voter registration
which says
I mean, we have more young people
in the country than older
that
people.
we have about 60%.
Well, even based on other videos we've seen or other campaigns, you look at the campaigns.
Look at your campaigns. Look at the political parties. Look at the leaders of the political parties currently. They are all
they always enthusiastic about rallies. That's what I'm saying. But time
who's in the rallies?
But let's go to Glendy. Young people are always enthusiastic about the rallies and the fun fair. But do they actually vote?
So I want to start from the end of the question that Ansony asks. If there is a poor voters turnout, who is going to come up top? I think if there's a poor voter turnout, I think the incumbent, I think President Weah will have an upper hand because he is currently in the government. He currently has control of so many different areas. So he will definitely come on top. With the momentum that we are now seeing from the UP camp and CPP camp, if the voters turn out, then you can rest assured that in opposition, probably Ambassador Boyka will carry, because all of the rallies, and we have to be fair, all of the rallies that we've seen the turnout for Ambassador Boyka even more for him than others in the race. So we hope that those people who have turned out in the rally will turn out their votes. But if they don't, it's going to be difficult for an opposition to win, because then you have to look at President Weah's numbers. Because if you have the same statistical numbers from 2017, then Weah wins. But if we've grown our base as an opposition with Ambassador Boyka, Cummings, and the other parties and other candidates, then it means that
you're opposition now.
Say that again.
Are you opposition?
I've been opposition all along, but I don't support a particular candidate. Okay. I am in opposition proudly. Okay. I don't support the ruling party. I mean, even Gaiman knows that.
All right.
Just to throw in something here. 2020, we saw voter appetite and we saw the opposition won. You know, not many people voted for the Dallas senatorial elections, and we saw how disastrous it was. So what we can infer here is that the opposition is very much energetic to go and vote.
Let me end my thought, Mr. Wilson. I know the UP people, you won't give me.
Glendy is protected. No speaking on the floor, please.
You got Kroma on the other side, you get it, other Wilson on the other side. But we talk, we live in the same area now, we'll connect. Yeah. But this is the thing I want to say. There's a caveat to why the people are going to turn out. And that caveat is they're angry, they're upset, they're tired, they're poor. There's so many factors that's playing into it now compared to 2017 when the people were thirsty for President Weah. They're no longer thirsty because they've seen what he's given them. So that caveat is going to drive the turnout. And if there's a huge turnout on the 10th, then it means that President Weah will not win again. But if there's a poor turnout, we're going to look at the numbers from before.
Thank you. Jimmy, I'm going to add something to that good question, talking about voter turnout and all that, right? And what I'm going to add to that, Jimmy, is the candidates now, assuming we have enthusiasm a little more on the opposition side. Any opposition candidate, what can they do now to tap into that enthusiasm, to tap into that anger? We can agree is directed at the current administration because of the conditions in the country. How can they tap into that so that they can benefit in terms of the numbers at the end of the day? You are muted, Jimmy. Jimmy, you are muted.
Let me take it from the top. An election like this, where the incumbent is running again, is really a referendum on his administration, how he has performed, how he has met his promises, and the general welfare of the people. Are they disgruntled? Do they think he's failed them? Are they worse off? All these things will be in play when they're in that ballot. And what I've seen from the supporters, I've seen they're basically two groups, the younger folks and the older folks. Now, the older folks, they tend to go to vote conservatively. So the disgruntled elements of the older folks may want to go conservative and go voting with the UP group because this is what they know. However, the younger people who want to see a change, who want to see a revolution completely different than what it is, they are very likely to vote with unknown, the CPP or even Gonglo, Simeon, or Dr. Moneyback. So I see them. The upsetting factor will be how the younger people vote, and because the younger people are in more numbers than the youth and than the older, the youth can easily sway this election toward a direction none of us thinking about now. So that is how I look at it. I believe whoever is able to convince the youth that that's the option they should go with, we will see a surprise at the ballot box this time around.
Well, if you are just joining us, this is Friday Night Debate here at Focus on Liberia. I'm co-moderating with my partner, Dennis Sieh. Thanks for joining us. We'll take a short break. When we come back, Dennis will be looking at major criticism against the candidates. What do criticism will do? Will it take any vote away from any of the candidates? Will it sway some things in other candidates' favor? Criticism. Will it do anything? Or, like the Unity Party people will say, the people are resolved. We will be right back after this break.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Sieh.
Welcome back to Friday Night Debate, where we have people representing various political parties and independent-minded people are here to debate the issues. We are 4 days away from elections, October 10. Who's going to win? What are your predictions? But there's an elephant in the room. There have been major criticism of all these candidates. And sometime, this is the last day of Friday Night Debate, and so we're going to lay all on the table. Let's start with President Weah. President Weah, his major criticism is he has not done so well. The country is retrogressing or has retrogressed. His cabinet, people that work with him, are incompetent. There is kush, there is drugs. The roads are bad, especially in the southeast and the Lofa Manakaman Highway. Everything is bad, and people blame President Weah for that. So how would that affect him? I want the President Weah group, please jot that down. I'm going to go through the criticism very quickly, and you can add more. For JNB, age and his health, those two have been very much the main criticism against Joseph Newman Boakai. Quite recently, a video came up that kind of lent credence to that. Joseph Newman Boakai was in a gathering where he was asked questions, and what went on? Take a listen.
So thank you for coming. Mr. Wilson, the press.
Welcome, Mr. Former Vice President.
Yes. Thank you.
I'm not even supposed to.
Yeah. More or less just a short statement about his statement about peace and national because we put
So, Mr. Ambassador Park, I will speak shortly to the local citizens.
So Boakai, who was supposed to give a statement to people that came to meet him, and he said not to be aware. People say that's the age factor and that's his health. That has been a major criticism. How do he deal with that, and will that take votes away or make people more sympathetic towards him that Yes, he's the old man. Then let's come to Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings has been criticized during the first election to say he's new. I mean, he has a corporate lifestyle. He does not have a base. Who are his base? Even as we go into elections of 2023, the criticism is still there that with all the money he's spending, he has not gained traction. And whether we like it or not, the question about his sexual orientation continue to come back every time. And every time that is brought forth, he is agitated. His wife was kind of going at it with other people who try to say something closer to that. So that has been a major criticism, those two. And that he doesn't know the terrain. He has gone in bed with some bad people against what he said first, that he was going to run a clean campaign. Now he's saying he's building a big tent. That has been a major criticism. Is it going to take votes away or add to Mr. Cummings? Let's come to Tiawonse Gonglo. Almost it's a consensus that yes, he's a good candidate. He's a good guy. He's nice. He's upright. He's corruption free. But he does not have money. He's starting late. He doesn't have he's not going anywhere. Besides, he too worked with Ellen. He tried to criticize Mr. Boakai for being with Ellen, going under the water with Ellen and coming out pretending to be dry. Well, they're saying, Mr. Gonglo, you two work with Ellen. So if Ellen is wet and Boakai is wet, you are wet. Then the major criticism against Moneyba is Moneyba, you are too young. You are coming into this too late. In fact, it seems that you've been planted by someone to take votes away from Joseph Newman Boakai. Others even took it a step further by saying he's not married. He doesn't have a family. He doesn't have a girlfriend. Why is that? All these things, maybe to other people, they may not be relevant to elections, but for some people, those things matter. So I want us to go around the room, starting with the owner badge about the criticism against Sieh.
Well, if you are an incumbent, everything that goes wrong, you take full responsibility. Everything that goes right, you take full responsibility. The criticism of roads and stuff of that nature, it's a small screen. Liberia is over 200 years old. Those roads have been there since 1822, from the founding of the country. The president came in before his administration. There were about 700 kilometer roads in the entire country that was considered road. The president added, I think, close to 400 kilometer of that in 5 years. That's a lot. If you look at the World Bank says under this president, the economy grew 4.7%. That's a plus for this government. This president has elected to hire more young folks. This president has elected to hire more women. This president has elected to do all of those things. My hometown of Grand Bassa County, last week, we opened a new cement factory that will be able to hire 500 new folks. And next week, they are opening for the first time a plywood manufacturing company in Bassa that will hire 800 folks. My community college in Grand Bassa County under this administration have been elevated to a full-stage university, Grand Bassa University. So there's a lot that have been done in Grand Bassa County. So has been done in Lofa, in Nimba, in Bong, in Maryland County, roads all over the place. Talk to the people from Saclay, talk to the people from Nimba County, as we are talking about the road now going to Grand Jita County. So the president has done a lot. Is he supposed to be criticized? Yes. That's what the incumbent does. They're so criticized for everything. In the same time, you can also talk your own horns for the successes you have enjoyed.
Thank you. Mr. Kroman, criticism against JNB.
I thought, Dennis, to be very honest, I thought you were being very disingenuous by playing the Omen video, but you couldn't show a picture of we are in a muddy road. You couldn't show, any bad road condition.
How is that disingenuous?
So yeah, give me a chance. You ask me. Let me answer.
Right.
Let me address the issue. I'm bringing the issue to you the way I see it. If you
Okay.
want to be objective in the case that you play one of the candidates' video, then show an image or a video of the other candidates. That's fair. But if you show one and then you say, "Oh,
it's not disingenuous, it's not objective." So use the right word.
Dennis, you are not being objective.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Is it disingenuous?
Right.
So now let me come to the point of this whole idea that people say JMB is old. It's a fact. We can change that fact that the old man is old. That's just the fact of life. But now you're correcting it now. You're showing
No,
it.
it's not me. It's not me. I'm not correcting anything. It's not me. I can play all videos.
But you could have shown this when you talk about you could have shown
No,
this.
but you can bring about that. That's
So
a video. I can play 10,000 videos. I can play just one or two,
Okay,
and that's my editorial judgment. Go ahead.
Then they say you moderated, just give man a few minutes. Let me say my one I want to say. Then you can do whatever you want to do the rest of the time. You the one managing. I'm just here to give me a few minutes. Let me talk my own. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can interject.
Okay, but every time you interject, you take away the thoughts that I'm having to express. Everything you say, I don't correct it just now. Now you not throw me off completely. But it's okay. I will still say what I want to say. So JMB was the former vice president of Liberia from 2005 to 2017. When President Salif and JMB took over the country, you couldn't drive on Broad Street, the main street of the entire country. You couldn't drive on Broad Street because there were major road conditions all across the country. When Yemen said that 700 miles of road and the president had paved 300 or 400 miles of road. So if Yemen show me the fact that this government has paved 400 miles of road, they see 1,000 and probably ANC people are probably out getting, they'll see 1,000 too. We have to be honest with the facts. When you come to these kind of shows, come with some tangible evidence of this is what has happened. Under President Salif for 12 years, there were over 765 kilometers of road that was paved. I can point you to almost all of the roads because I was actually sitting behind the data, collecting that kind of data while, for the last 6 years of the administration. And that development cut across the entire country. I mean, Montserrat County, Lofa County, Nima County, Grand Bassa County. Today, when you brag about, Grand Bassa County and opening plywood factory or cement factory, wherever you open it in our Grand Bassa County, it's because you have a paved road that can take you from Montserrat County to Grand Bassa in an hour and a half. When I went to Liberia in 2011, it took me 5 hours to get to that same Buchanan because the road condition was very, very terrible. But now we're doing it in an hour and a half. So access to road, when Raptel Pele in her recent interview said there are over 50% of Liberians that are having multidimensional poverty, those are some of the things that she was talking about. And to say President Weah took over the country and he has improved it, it's been disingenuous because places like Bon County, for example, the only hospital in Bon County, you can't even have an emergency room with bed for people to lay in that bed. In the southeast, where we are brags about coming from, X-ray machine is not there. You don't have the biggest referral hospital don't have X-ray machine. But here you are trying to tell us that the president has done well. The total amount of road accumulated under President Weah for 6 years. If he did even 200 kilometers of road, then I'll pay you. He has not done that. But he paved road to, rehab and, do community.
Thank you, Morris.
Road medicine. It's not a fact. We shouldn't make come to this kind of conversation.
Thank you. Let me go to Mr. Nambwe for the criticism against Mr. Cummings.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about videos and not videos and all that, but
I mentioned the barrel, but you wanted me to show video.
Yeah, I just want to remind Dennis. Can you guys hear? No, I'm not going to go there. All right. When Mr. Krumah is talking about what Ellen Johnson did and work out together.
Can you go to the criticism against Mr.
I wish
Cummings,
you also talk. Yeah, I'm going there.
Okay.
I just want to remind him to also mention how much money was brought into the country during their term. And let's just compare those two so that they balance out. Secure over $5 billion in debt relief. So let's just put that one side. But when we come to Mr. Cummings, yes, the criticism was Mr. Cummings doesn't understand the lay of the land. You know, he doesn't know the difference between a bribe and cold water. You know, he doesn't know the Liberian way. Yeah, we got all that. And this is why we have surrounded ourselves with people who understand how the system works, not in a negative way. And everyone here has attested to the fact that Mr. Cummings and the CPP are doing way better than the ANC did in 2017. That is a fact. And that is one because, yes, mistakes are made. We are humans. Human beings make mistakes. And so, yes, our campaign in 2017 left a lot to be desired. But we can't say that about our 2023 campaign. This is why we have grown the number so significantly, and we know we'll be in the second round. As to Mr. Cummings' sexual orientation, I haven't heard that in so many months. If you hadn't mentioned it here, Dennis, I wouldn't know it was an issue. Because this is an issue we have.
Cummings and one of the fatty guys, they had a back and forth based on that.
Okay, I'm not gonna. You know what? I'm not gonna go there. But who is fatty guy again? Who is that?
She was the one who brought it up, right, to respond. So that's how I heard it.
All right. You know what? Mr. Fatty guy can go with the team GNB or whatever he wants to do. That's good. That's good for him. But Mr. Cummings is married for over 40 years with his beautiful wife, Teresa. We've seen that. We know they have kids. We all know that. In fact, one of the issues that Mr. Fadiga was dwelling on was that his son had donated to the campaign. That's his biological son. What Mr. Cummings said, which was taken out of context, was that the question of homosexuality is a question that he has dealt with understanding. They left out that part. Every time they play that little tip, which is doctored, that's a little snippet they play, to portray him as struggling with a lifestyle that he is a part of. You understand me? We all know these are all, campaign tricks and all of that. We understand that. But Dennis, the proof is going to be on October 10th. We are confident come October 10th, we will shock the world. And I will be happy to sit here with Mr. Wilson and Mr. Kroma, and we can discuss, how to rehab their feelings and whatever it is, to make them feel good.
And gentlemen, let me remind you and ladies as well.
Why are you leaving out Jerome?
The part of the question you are leaving, the part of the question you are leaving out is: would any of these criticisms take vote from any of these candidates? Don't forget that part.
I believe I implicitly answered that, Ansony, because if votes are being taken from us today, we won't be doing better than we did in 2017. That's what I'm saying. If anything,
let me go to the independent before I come to the rest of the partisan, and let's start with Jimmy. The criticism against, you can pick Gonglo, Moneyba, or
we are anyone.
I want to deal with the criticism against Vivi Bwaka, and there's a special reason I have that. We understand that Vivi Bwaka is a statesman. He's been experienced. He has 40 years of experience in government, and he has led a successful career compared to most Liberians. He has been in the government for 40 some more years. But what I don't understand about his supporters, smart guys like Kroma, smart guys like Joe Wilson, is very well that he's aged. And that he is not only aged, his health is also enfeebled by various things. Either one of those things all by itself is enough to detract from your ability to perform. Your health and your faculty, your mental faculty, as opposed to being aged. Yet and still, the one of his prime supporters, Prince Johnson, comes up and say, the old man's old, he won't be able to do the work. So why, if everyone knows this, why are you supporting someone who will be absent? In other words, he will have to turn over the job to somebody. And are you willing to roll the dice? are you willing to give the country to whoever he to be? So I believe that the people who support VP Walker should be talking about a President Coon, because that is most likely what's going to happen here. Prince Johnson said it the same way, or whoever will be his chief of staff. So is it that important that the party gets to the presidency and not knowing how the leadership is going to turn out? Is that your solution for Liberia? That's why I question it. I question, if that is your solution to Liberia, then your loyalty is to, I don't believe your loyalty is to Liberia. Not at all.
And what you said, will that
If
take
it's a
votes
question
away
that we
from
can
the
answer it,
ND?
then if it's a question, maybe we can answer it.
Hold on. Jimmy, would that take vote away from Mr. Buckeye?
That's a good question. Will it take vote away? It has, because somebody like me, the last go around, all of us were over there. But at this point, some people, he will lose some votes because of that. Yes, I believe he will.
Thank you. And I will come to you, Comrade Joe Wilson, to respond, also add to that. But let me go to Glendy to pick one of the criticism and roll with it. Gonglo, Moniba, Cummings, Buckeye, Weah.
On mute, please.
I wanna look at Joe Boyka's criticism. One that I'm not in favor of when people talk about age. I think he's a Liberian, regardless of how old he is. He knows his capacity. I think people should. I think it's disingenuous when we continue to focus on his age, when Boyka continues to put himself forward that he wants to be president. And if he feels that he's capable of doing it, and the people that is surrounding him and the people that's even going to the rally, they're saying whether he's 100 years old, we still want him. So I think that's something that people should just do away with. And
Glenny, you say if he feels, what if the people who are going to vote, they are using that to criticize him, and you say that shouldn't be said just based on what Mr. Barker?
I don't think that, yes, it's a factor, but what is it going to do? We started years ago.
Is it going to take vote away from him?
I don't think it will.
Okay.
I honestly don't think it's going to take any vote away, because you see how far he has come.
And in politics, you think it's fair or not fair politics? To question that?
When you look at where we live now, and look at Joe Biden, and look at Donald Trump, let's be fair. I mean,
That's a criticism against Biden too, though.
They criticize Joe Biden.
But he still won.
Yeah, but you're talking about a system, an ironclad system.
It doesn't matter.
The American president cannot do anything.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, because the Liberian people, they see Joe Boyka, they work with Joe Boyka, and they still support Joe Boyka. That's just it. You cannot compare Liberia to America and look at.
Thank you, but that's what you were doing. I said you can't compare it.
No,
and that's why I
was looking at the age factor, because do we even know? Are you occurring to the things that Joe Boyka is capable of doing, or because we see him up there, so we think he's competent? Let's be fair. Let's be balanced.
Right.
Come on. I think to add to the criticism, I'm not a Boyka supporter. Neither am I.
Take another one. So we talk about the Boyka. Take another criticism.
I want to add something to the Boyka. I want to add something to the Boyka piece. I think the video you showed, I blame the people working around Boyka for setting him up like that. And I think it was wrong.
Don't you think we should see him for what he really is, Glenny?
Say that again.
Hold on,
Don't you think we should see him for what he really is?
We should see everybody.
You've been political, because you know that's not. You know he was tired. You know that he was tired. Otherwise,
speaking on the floor, please.
I think also
you are cutting her off, so I will come in.
Yeah, I think also with VP Boyka, people, if you had press ready to talk to him, what was the preparation you did prior? to just saying, okay, let him go and talk. You already know age is a factor. You already know people will be looking out for every slip that he has. Why didn't they prepare him?
Right.
So that video cannot be.
Did you just say age is a factor? Did you just say age is a factor?
I said that because
question.
people, I said that because people are saying it. For me, I don't care about his age.
Right.
I don't even care about what they say about
just say whatever people say, Glendy?
I don't care.
Do you just say whatever? Do you just say whatever people say?
No, I don't say whatever they say. I'm just saying if people want to focus on Boyka's age, but there are people who still don't care about his age and still want to see him become president, then that shouldn't be a factor for me.
But may I ask you, it's not his age, it's his ability to perform. It's not his age.
So how do you know that?
Ability
How do you
perform.
know? So you are getting to that conclusion based on his age, correct?
No.
By
Jimmy, you made your point. Jimmy, you made your point. We have to get to Tavina.
Let me go to Tavina.
But ain't that fair? What?
Yeah,
That's fair now.
This is not a class presentation. It's a debate.
That's a debate.
You should let us talk
we want to debate it, we debate it.
But I have to remind you when we express our concern about the vice president.
It does not mean you have to be interrupting and talking against on the floor.
We're looking
I'm just joking. You're doing your way. I'm just joking.
That's what concerns us. Who is breathing down his shoulder?
The Liberian people don't care.
Look, all right, and let's come to this, right? Because of Morris was saying it, is that video legitimate to play? Does that video not tell us that something is wrong?
Something seriously wrong with that video.
Not at all.
No, there's nothing wrong with the video.
It doesn't.
Then there's nothing absolutely wrong with the video.
Absolutely,
I share the same sentiment that Glendy shared.
Dennis, let go with the float. It's Tavina turn to speak.
No, let him talk. He's saying something. I asked a question. Let him respond.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
In so many ways. Appear that he's not aware where he is.
I support. Listen, Dennis.
He did that in Philadelphia too.
I support the Joseph Yuma Boyka campaign. In all, against all strata of honesty, I do share the sentiments that I love to call anti-Glendy, right? Shares, right? In terms of there was not preparation before
to call anti-Glendy until she talks.
Probably anti-Glendy. I like it.
Hey man, Mama, you know it. Mama, leave that thing. So in terms of preparation, I think there was some little slippages along the lines, right? And I thought it's obvious. Every presidential, every political, influential individuals, before you bring them to the press, you have to do some background preparation. And I believe that there were some slippages along the line. You can refer, there are many times, when Sekou Kalasco would just take camera, you see Joe, we are telling my shoe looking all right, and my shoe looking good.
Yeah.
You don't do that. That was a mistake. It happens. This is the moment. Right?
But they have to prepare him to be coherent. He wasn't coherent. He didn't know where he was. It caused for no preparation.
No, I don't think it's a question of coherence.
Yes.
No, but he didn't know where he was.
No. You cannot use coherence.
I think
you misspoke. I think you misspoke. No. I think you misspoke. You can't talk about coherence.
Can we talk one at a time, please?
Your talk.
One at a time, please. It's still a
debate. But let's establish some facts.
Did the same thing in Philadelphia.
Let's establish some basis.
Okay.
Issue of coherence is out of the picture. It's just a matter of people doing one or two checks before coming forward, right? So what I'm saying, are you not aware about things happen along the line when you interact?
He did the same thing in
Jesse Jackson had a hot mark. What Jesse Jackson said about Barack and other people around there. We are not justifying. I'm saying that was a mistake.
Are we going to go?
The same thing
Thank you. Let me go to
Tavina.
Let me go to Tavina.
No. Look, come on, Anthony. You and I were in Philadelphia in the church.
Hold on, Joe. Tavina, pick one of the candidates or the criticism.
Yeah. Talking on the floor will ruin this discussion.
360 here. But say you're Omer Boyka. Let me start with Mr. Boyka. I'm not gonna call him Omer Boyka. I don't like to discuss old people. My first name reached that far, but let's just say as it is. If Mr. Boycott doesn't remember where he was as a given time, we have a systemic problem.
Thank you.
Don't compare it to Carrasco, recording George Weah unknowingly. He didn't even know his place in time or where he was and what was going on in his surrounding. No, we have a problem. We have a problem. We're not going to sugarcoat this.
Y'all play that video again.
We have a problem.
So, Dennis, I really want to address this.
It's not like a slip of tongue to say, oh, well, he says, oh, y'all give me chance now. Oh, Dennis, people protect me, man.
Oh, but that debate, now, isn't that debate?
So, you didn't know where he was, it's untrue.
Hold on, Comrade Joe.
No, correct some basic facts. You can't say that. Even if you play the video, he was asking, why does he have to say to the press?
There you go. There you go. It was the protocol aspect that he did not understand.
Play the video. I challenge you, Dennis, to play the video.
Are we going to be?
Y'all give me chance.
Tavina, go ahead. I chose to play the video, so I'm not scared to play. Go ahead, Tavina.
Play the video.
I said I'm not going to discuss Mr. Boycott's age. Yes, age is a factor because we all know whether you medical school or not, whether just common sense, when you reach a certain age, your mental capacity goes down. Other things go down here. So we cannot what is?
Go ahead.
Me and you are not talking. So,
but then if you want to be a panelist, just be a panelist one time with
you. And a debate.
Oh, that's not debate.
And we debating. Go ahead.
On a serious note, though. So, but Nigerian president, I think it's about 70 or something. Obviously, we know we have a problem with Biden here too. So we're not going to beat around this. This is a serious issue with Mr. Boycott. But the thing about it, is he different from the young people in power? Look at the Weah, Is he any different? The thing about leadership, and most of us here are leaders, that your output is based upon the people that surround you that make you shine and do better. So the play I caught Mr. Boycott slack, even though I know the age is a big deal, but who is he surrounding himself with? Who are the people that are going to make him shine and to make him govern correctly? We put Mr. Weah there, young. What is he doing? Is he any better? No. And look at the people surrounding him. Bunch of thieves. They're just doing fraud, waste, and abuse. And let's put the argument, we're arguing up and down. Stealing taxpayer money. Don't tell me about no viral medicine and all of that. That's not enough. You face one road and you steal half of the money. I don't have time for that. You're giving contracts to your in-laws, to your friends, to people that have no business. We're not talking about that. So to answer the question about if any of them will lose vote, every one of them will lose vote. Let's start with, like I said, I talk about Mr. Boycott stuff. He's going to lose vote because people are like, you're already old. You should be retiring. I'm not going to vote for you. So somebody will go vote for somebody else. Come to Mr. Weah. Other people will be like, you know what? We gave you a chance. You didn't do nothing. Or you come here and tell her excuses and tell her that, you made the country in a bad mess and you need more time. We're not going to do that. We're not giving no time because we see the stealing in 6 months now or less. You build all these houses, you broke houses, rebuild, your people did all the craziness with taxpayer money. We're not going to give you another chance. You go to Mr. Cummings, he's going to lose vote too. Curse me if you want. He's going to lose vote. His people on Facebook, they can't stand criticism. When you say anything about Mr. Cummings, even if you say in good strike, they come in your throat. They won't choke you. They want one of the princes. They will not let you breathe. They will cost you all day. They're fighting you. They don't want the feedback. They're not, instead of selling that candidate, they're basically fighting you, and then you have the thing that whether I want to believe it or not, this whole gay thing, it's never going to go away. Whether he's gay or not, it's not my place to judge him. I don't have a problem with people being gay, wherever your sexual orientation is on you and you and your God. But this is the country. That's how people think. They're going to take some points from him for that. Then his wife, they outburst the other day. Somebody can say, that her son, that mother and child. Come on now, you what they call in waiting? You what? First lady in waiting. Should you be speaking that way in the public, even that your child? Oh, I want have to cut for our children. But if my husband gonna be running and I'm not married, but I'm just saying, if my husband running out there for a public office, I better behave myself. Because anything I do is a reflection of him. So that thing she did, I don't care what it is, it's gonna take points from him again. You know, I don't know much about Gonglo other than poor man lawyer. He doesn't have money. You know, our people, I don't know, they don't value good people. If the man doesn't have money, but he has integrity, he able to lead effectively, give him a chance. That's how I see it. So our people, it's all about the dollars. Yeah, again, because the country is poor, people can't find jobs. So if they don't want to vote him because he doesn't have money, it's on them. It's on them. You know, they don't reward, our country don't reward honest people and people with integrity. I get it. So everybody gonna get put. Whenever, you know, they'll say, oh, well, he's not married. Do I have her married? She's not married. So people, you know, I want to talk my own risk.
She vice president. She was picked as a vice president. She's not running for president.
But Ellen was not married either. Ellen wasn't married either. Ellen wasn't married.
But let me talk now, your way. You know, other people not married. Can they lead effectively? That's not the question. Can they lead? You know, so if the man not married, people, he said it before he had a relationship. It's his personal business.
And they say
he can decide to be married, to be single.
Away from JNB. That's another criticism. That he's not really he's planted to take vote from JNB and that he's only auditioning for 2029. He's not ready.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. He's not going to go far. You know, first from a timing perspective, he came too late in the game. He, you know, even though he getting some votes and attention, I wish he had started early. But it's good. He's getting his name out there. It's a good thing. So when he goes back, you know, 2 years from now, maybe he'll still a chance. But I don't think he's going to go far this time. At the end of the day, when they go to the second round, he's going to vote his uncle. That's a Lofa County team. He's going to vote his uncle, Joe Wecker. It's an uncle and nephew thing. He's going to vote his uncle.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope people are not reading, or the Boaka people are not reading comment from Sam Wallow. So Wallow, Wallow say, maybe President-elect Joe Boaka will consider cooking for FOF for post-election fireside chat, and Dennis can apologize for his antics. He's a Boaka supporter, so he's always on my neck. Cummings.
Can I say something quickly, Dennis, before you?
No, that Joe will say something now because you spoke for the first time. Okay. So let Joe speak to the criticism.
We have Mr. Gitman for a while.
No problem.
But I didn't think that.
He talked about we are.
Mr. Gitman was the first.
Mr. Gay interrupting. Mr. Gay, I said.
Everybody want my job now. Sam Wallow want my job now. Glendy.
But I said I take the panelists.
Go ahead. I'll come to Joe Wilson.
So, in terms of criticism, well, I like to pick up points from starting off with TV, right? So it's not going to take anything away from Honorable Boycott. Mr. Boycott is in these elections because of his records. That is it. Mr. Boycott is in these elections because of his history, his credentials in grassroots politics. So
grassroots politics?
Grassroots.
Well played.
Listen, I think I can be speech.
What is your definition of grassroots?
You want to tell me join the conversation and then you want to say,
yeah, listen to me.
Moderator, I have to ask questions, man. Maurice, you're talking on the too much.
Grassroots?
You're talking on the too much. As a moderator, I have to ask questions. He made a statement.
Just calm down.
He made a statement that is not common to Joseph Boyka.
No, it's not.
Grassroots politics.
We're not going to take it.
Common. And so,
Ansony, what is
not common? What do you mean?
What is he doing now? What has he done with grassroots?
What is your definition of grassroots?
You're not running the campaign for him. Someone can money to grassroots.
Ansony, I'd like for Focus on Liberia to tell me what is her definition of grassroots politics.
No, I'm not going to tell you.
You define it because you said it.
You guys want to moderate the show.
You want to answer me. If you tell me what I'm saying is not true,
now.
You better have a definition. You better have a definition that disagrees with my perspective. If you cannot give me a
we don't know your perspective yet.
With my perspective,
but yeah, that is not your perspective. When you use a phrase,
talking on the floor is not going to help the discussion. Comrade Joe
what
Wilson,
is,
you are
I'm
protected.
challenging the entire panelists here tonight. What
Comrade
is
Joe
your
Wilson.
definition of grassroots politics?
Comrade Joe Wilson, you made an assumption.
Mr. Wilson, join the free speech. You are protected.
Has he championed the cause? Has he championed the cause of poor people? Has he championed the cause of those who have not? Has he championed the cause whose voices are not being heard today? Has he championed any of those causes?
Why is
Come on.
Why is everybody talking on the floor? This is not good for the audience, please. Comrade Joe Wilson made an assumption that Joseph Boakai has the credential of grassroots politics. This is my first time hearing that, and that's why I came out. So, Comrade Wilson, you are protected. Go ahead. Explain to us Joe Boakai grassroots politics credentials, please.
Good. So, unfortunately, you know, I don't know. Should I say I'm surprised that the entire panelists will have little knowledge about the credentials of Joseph Yuma Boakai? Is the panelists not aware of Joseph Yuma Boakai involvement with the formation of what we now call the Federation of Liberian Youth?
What?
Are you guys not aware? Are you guys not aware of Joseph Yuma Boakai serving the young people of Liberia at the Young Men Christian Association of Liberia, YMCA? Are you guys not aware? Are you guys not aware of Joseph Yuma Boakai's involvement with the farmers in association in Liberia? Are you guys not aware? Are you guys not aware of Joseph Yuma making a tremendous impact in terms of pushing the agendas of smallholder farmers in Liberia? Are you guys not aware?
Can you give us date and time, please? Dates. We need timeline. Dates.
Please, we don't do that.
Can you go to Joseph Yuma Boakai? Can you go to joeboakai.com and read about him?
50 years
No,
ago.
we're here. Educate us. We are here.
Please, Joe is protected.
I just provided a whole lot of education.
The man said grassroots politics. Everybody went to his neck. That's not the man that mentioned
He was involved with the youth in 2020 June. So give us specifics. You can't just throw out things like that.
You are moderating now. Joe is protected.
You're sorry.
Joe, you are protected. Please, everybody stop speaking off the floor. Joe, go ahead. You are protected.
Sorry, you're sorry.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sieh. So, anyone that doubts the information I am providing, please go and read on www.joeboakai.com.
Yeah,
please.
And please contribute to his poll washer, www.pollwasher.com.
Educational plan, how under 4 sentences.
So wait now, anybody can be a minister in part of the elite group. Then you call him grassroots politics when he part of the elites.
You see, you not see anything.
Just wait.
Look at what happened here. You're not saying
I still have the flow. Morris, I still have the flow.
I thought Mr. Wilson. I thought
these guys are helping the man off.
This show is not going well tonight. This show is not going well. They're talking too much.
The people are moderating are mute and they're just looking and they enjoying it.
And Morris is not even keeping his peace. Please, Joe, you are protected.
Okay, Joe, you have 30 seconds. Please end your thoughts and we go
no,
to...
No. You can't tell me I have 30 seconds when I've not even spoken.
Tell you have 30 seconds,
the panelists have interrupted me. So, listen to me. I think what we need to do when we come to these kind of conversations, maybe we need to do some real background checks on the candidates, on the individuals that we want to debate against. Because what I'm sensing, a lot of people don't even know the political and historical credentials of Joseph Yuma Boakai. A lot of people on this panel don't know that. Well, but now you have something to go and research on. Joseph Yuma Boakai served the young people of Liberia. Joseph Yuma Boakai contributed to the formation of what we now call the Federation of Liberian Youth. If you are Okron with the political historicity of Liberia, and you know the involvement of the Federation of Liberian Youth, you will not question what it means to be supporting the grassroots movement in Liberia. You wouldn't.
Thank you.
So, that comes to the criticism. The video that you've been portraying, listen, actually, you've been interrupted. Come on, this is so unfair.
Yeah, man.
This is so unfair. There's a lot of opportunity. Come on. All right. This is not fair.
Yeah,
There's a
man.
lot of opportunity for the people watching the show to learn that the voters will make an informed decision. It's not about some of our pessimistic opinion about Joseph Yuma Boyka. It really doesn't matter because it doesn't change the fact how this man who came from the lowest of the poorest of the poor class, from Wasonga to Monrovia to the executive mansion, it does not change the fact who Joseph Yuma Boyka is. It does not change the fact this gentleman has served in government for a significant amount of time, but he does not believe in
Thank you, Comrade Wilson.
For himself, like George Weah, who played soccer all of his life, mismanaged his
Wilson, thank you.
In the twinkle of an eye, stole the Liberian people.
Wilson, thank you.
Build duplexes at the expense of Liberian people. George Weah is a FCC president, and that's why he needs to be rejected.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to Anthony Gay.
No, hold on. Let me go to Anthony. After Anthony, I'm bringing my callers. Anthony, you have not spoken on your criticism. Go ahead, sir.
Well, where do I begin? I want to say thank you to my big sister, Villain Cole, who recognized that Cummings is no longer in that corporate box that they used to say. He keeps sitting in that corporate box. Mr. Cummings out of that corporate box and meeting the people where they are and, picking up the case from the ground. Talking to regular folks. Look, let me say this. That video that was just played is the scariest thing for me as a young man, as a millennium, for my country to be turned over to a man who's supposed to retire with dignity. Look, there's a saying that a great performer knows when he or she leaves the stage. Joseph Yuma Boyka mobility is challenged. I was in Philadelphia. I saw it for myself. Since that day, since last year, I've been talking about his mobility. He was completely lost. He didn't know where he was. It's completely different to say, a person was recorded unaware. The interview was arranged. Journalists were brought in. He had a seat. And it was time for him to speak. And he blacked out. Folks, he had a freeze at that moment. You can't manufacture that.
Can you speak to the criticism against Cummings?
When Mr. Cummings, each one of them, the fact that Mr. Cummings did not agree to go with JMB as a VP, that also will take votes for him because people feel as though he's selfish. But they never understood that Unity Party was very clever enough to propagate that narrative. Joseph Yuma Boyka never, in a challenge, any one of these guys here, never asked Mr. Cummings to go as his VP running mate. But that narrative was there because if he would agree, based on the CPP framework document, it's the standard bearer who has absolute power to pick his or her running mate. He was going to out Mr. Cummings out of the process, just like he did Yombi Kangalori, and pick anybody, and it was not going to be any fault of his own, right? We saw it from the far and we said, do not even fall for that. Thankfully, Mr. Cummings did not fall for it. Let's say this, folks. Stop acting as though when we speak of the age of JMB or speak of the challenges that JMB faced, that means politically we have nothing to offer. Look, JMB, if he was the grassroots you're talking about, then his mother, who he always talked about, who have challenges with disability, then he would have advocated that every government building have an accessible entrance for people with disabilities. No government building has a platform where you can use your wheelchair. Everybody has that. People with disabilities struggle. He comes from a place where a mother has disabilities.
That's not true. Don't misinform the people, man.
Stop Morris again is speaking off the floor. Hey, Lord, what is this?
But the man is not speaking the truth. Don't
wait for your turn. You wait for your turn.
You can interject. That's fine. Mr. Gates, and your thought in 30 seconds.
I really didn't like that.
Where is the change when Senator Jeremiah Kuhn, who voted 98% of the time alongside CDC, bragged about it. Today, where's the change? This is the same man you bring it back. So I don't understand when the Unity Party people brag about all the different things. He's not an agent of change. Jeremiah Kuhn is not an agent of change. But you want to talk about, you're going to rescue Liberia? How are you going to rescue Liberia with the same individual who got us to the place where we are today?
Thank you. Thank you.
Can I one comment?
I want country that God gave all this country. Fellow Liberian, that God gave all this country. We are calling on everyone here to come and pray for this country, Liberia, God gave all this country.
God gave us this country. With that song, we're going to bring in our callers. They've been waiting to join the conversation. We have the first caller here is Maurice Gassama. Gassama, you're live. Go ahead, sir. Maurice, are you there?
Let's call him.
All right, Elvis.
Hello,
Morris.
Are you here? Yeah, are you hearing me?
Go ahead. We're hearing you now.
Yeah, all right. Thank you. Thanks to everyone on the show. I just want to talk about the criticism on Ambassador Barker regarding the age issue. Look, Dennis, and to everyone on the show, this age argument, is it an argument of concern? Yes. Is it something that should be discussed? Yes. Is it a valid argument to make? Yes. But is it a sound argument? No. Because for argument to be sound, it has to be sustainable. Let's say Baka was 40 years old. The argument would have been, Baka young. Right? That would have been the argument. So that makes it a valid not to be a sound argument. It only be a valid argument. Because, and the fact that George Weah became president in early 50s, and look at George Weah today. The CDC Brunei is supposed to be running with the age argument. The George Weah alone killed the whole age argument. What we are looking at Bouaka, the past of Bouaka. Bouaka will not be president to say he will be the recreation center after work. They go to happy hour. No, Bouaka will not have time for that because of the age. But when all ministers and cabinet ministers, they will go to have after hour party. No, Bouaka will go home and think about the next day. So the whole age argument is not a sound argument that anybody can run with. Let's look at what Bouaka has done. Who Bouaka is. That's what matters.
Thank you.
Thanks to you guys, man. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you. That's a good one. Let me bring you on Elvis Morris. Mr. Morris, you're live.
Thank you, Mr. John. And hello to the panelists. You know, we all can see that Joseph Boyka has lost his mental equilibrium. He's not balanced mentally. And there's nothing wrong
Are
with
you
that.
diagnosing the man or Elvis? Becoming a medical professional?
You're a psychologist.
Mental what?
I think Elvis is going to call. I'm making a layman of,
but then don't go into diagnosis. Go ahead.
Yeah. When somebody says, where am I? What am I doing here? The person is confused and they're off kilter. And this is the reason why we have, the concerns that we have about Joseph Boyka. As people get older, some people have strokes, some people have, certain health issues. It's normal for human beings to go through those things. But most of the time, they retire, they have a peaceful time with their family, they enjoy their wives, and they enjoy the rest of their lives. They're not running for a country, they're not running to be president for a country like Liberia that really needs somebody that can do the job. So I think the issue here is when people like Maurice Kumar and the other, a guy, Joe Wilson, when they are preaching this, if you're a patriot, you have to go for Joseph Boyka. When some of us who are, opposing Boyka, they criticize us for not loving our country enough. We're young. We shouldn't be thinking this kind of way. how do they think of themselves to put a man like Boyka, who certainly is having some mental decline, in, at the head of our country? And let me make up my last comment to Morris Kumar. Morris, you throwing your money around tonight. I think you now offer 3,000 or so, if the other one having you bet the person one time.
2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000.
Help support the platform, Morris.
Yeah.
But I think, Mr. Gilman, I must give it to you. I think you've been well behaved tonight, as you usually are.
You're not Taberi.
The key is when you make your statement, you're fire strong tonight. So kudos to you, Mr. Gilman. You're really effective tonight. I'll leave it and thank you for taking my call.
Thank you. Let me take Mr. Aliyu Kamara.
Mr. Gilman,
Oh boy.
Yes, sir. Thank you for accepting me on Dennis Ja. Listen, let me let before I didn't know my real statement, let me let Anthony Gay and Brother Nangbe in on something they don't know. They join all of these arguments coming from some members of the ANC who now say they are independent. Mr. Eastman is one of those people. And Mr. Gay and Mr. Nangbe, the innocent soldiers, they went with the flow. You see, Mr. Eastman then thought that their hope as Congo people coming back to power are going to be Mr. And they believe now that Joseph Boakai is the obstacle that they cannot see the presidency. So what Mr. Eastman have against Joseph Boakai is a personal vendetta. Joseph Boakai put a vote in their political green. That's what's affecting this guy. This guy despises Joseph Boakai with passion, no matter what you do. Let me just say it, and I just want Gay and Anthony to be not going to understand it. They don't know the JPD talking about, but they don't really know the whole deal. The thing that Eastman County, the county you have a man called Nangbe. A guy sitting there.
Aliyu, you got to stop this. You got to stop this.
He is a divisionist. This is some of the people got Liberia back when he stayed on his 50-year-old thing.
Talk about the video. What do you say about the video?
But you calling the man Congo, you calling the man this, you know his ethnic group?
No. But let me let my point. The man called Joseph Boakai a foreigner. He implied he had to leave the show on Sunday. Talking about young people studying debate the two, the person will get a debate, this and that. They all insinuate that Joseph Boakai is a foreigner. A man who has been in the country all his life. But this is what I wanted to say after. I just wanted to bring Nangbe in on this because he doesn't know it. He's a progressive. He thinks I'm going to forget that for him. But I wanted you to know one thing here as well. This argument about Joe Boakai is started since Joe Boakai left the CPP. They have never recovered. These CPP people, they've never recovered since Joseph Boakai left. He's irrelevant, he's old, he's retarded, he's crazy, he doesn't know where he's at, but they still hurting that Joseph Boakai did not help them come back to power. They are angry. They are mad. And they like it, they don't like it, we're speaking inside their follow. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Dennis, before you go forward, Dennis, please, before you go forward, I just want to say here quite clearly the comments that just came from Aliyu Kamara, bringing other Liberians at Congo and putting them in the box because of that. It is despicable and it's shameful that Aliyu Kamara will choose to use Focus on Liberia to promote division among us. We have learned enough from these awful statements coming from somebody, Aliyu Kamara. I'm so ashamed that he would say that. That is unacceptable, and I've thought to say that.
Tribal bigotry has no place here on Focus on Liberia or in our politics.
No.
Let people be free to support whoever they want to, not because of their ethnic group. All right, and Aliyu Kamara, and we have been fighting. Judge Tule called it. Okay. Judge Tule, go ahead quickly. You are interrupting, but go ahead.
How you
doing? I just want to say hi to your panelists. I've been listening. This is George Kanatule, and I've been listening. I I won't go the travel route like Aliyu. But this is what I like to sell my candidate. I've heard a lot of people say he has no record of achievement. He has done nothing. Joe made the assertion about his grassroots credentials. And somebody said, no, he has not. Look, Joseph Yimoboga has worked at the lowest level of our society and built up people. Joe mentioned the Federation of Liberian Youth. He's an ambassador of the YMCA. But let's go back to the 70s. The vibrancy that was at LPMC Vunjima that Joe Boka led. The production, the level of production. You know what I remember as a child? I remember my mom warning me and my friends that when we went to play, because there was Mr. Brewer, Duechini, he used to live there, and Joe Boga used to live there. He used to send me there to go and play. And the warning my mom always gave me was to stay away from the mounting of fire. They used to burn the cocoa and the coffee dirt. And even the palm kernel, they used to burn it somewhere in the back there, on the LPMC estate. It was a perpetual fire. So they always warn us of these things. The reason, pollution. Dennis, hold on 1 minute. The reason why I'm going back there is this. In the Green Revolution, the things that Joe Boga has done. Now, nobody is talking about him being a spring chicken. The man is almost 80 years old, for God's sake. That's not what we want him. But one thing I know, Joe and Dennis, Joe Boga will not send to the Minister of Finance to pass illegal and illegitimate payment vouchers. And because Joe Boga will not do that, the Minister of Finance will not do it. Like George William send for payments. They increase the amount. They take what he wants to him, and they take the rest. And he doesn't even know he's not wiser. He's not wise at it at all. Joe Boga will not steal. So what we're saying is this. Liberia is too scattered now. We just want somebody to bring accountability and probity to bear. And Dennis, you don't expect people like us to be part of this stream to champion the cause of Joe Boga, become president, and then they go array. They go and they mess everything up, and we sit there and we be doing sycophantic adulation like people like Jerome Gibbon. No. We are going to hold them. Let me just say this thing quickly.
Yeah, please. We have more callers.
All right, buddy. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Thank you, George.
And what did we learn from that?
Let me bring in
People is getting bombarded tonight. Now what we learn?
Mr. Kalabo Gonglo.
Yeah, come on, Mr. Gonglo can fire them too.
Kalabo.
Yeah, yes. Good evening, guys. I wish I had been on this panel tonight, but since this is the last show for the election, I would like to say this. I think a lot has been said, but I will, kind of summarize it this way: that in this election, here are the issues that are on the ballot. Corruption is on the ballot. Poverty is on the ballot. Integrity is on the ballot. We need to go and look at these people. Courage. Leadership is about courage. Courage is on the ballot. In this race, among all of the 20 candidates, the only man who has shown courage to stand up for what he believes in throughout his life for over 40 years, even in some instances at the peril of his life, is Councillor Gonglo. He has the courage to speak truth to power throughout his life.
They come strong.
This is why he has made it very clear that voters must be very, very focused that he, Councillor Gonglo, will not make due with the 6-year rule and the 12-year rules. And the 6-year rule and the 12-year rules must be rejected. In this election, we must fight for the soul of Liberia. Part of the problem we have in this country is impunity. The culture of impunity, the Unity Party and the CDC represent and are promoted the culture of impunity in our democracy. We must put these two, must reject these two political parties.
Thank you.
Dennis, all our scholars spoke for 5 minutes. I'm monitoring you. We keep telling okay.
Yeah. Please conclude, Gonglo.
Yeah. So I don't want to be the Morris Kuma to throw money because I don't have money. I'm a poor man. I know Morris is a former director of finance ministry, so they got a lot of money from the UP guys. We know they got a lot of money. But I would bet
no money was in labor ministry.
Dennis, please start taking my talking points. I'm making a whole for please don't take my talking points. Please.
I live on salary.
Okay.
I said I was in government, Dennis. You never work in government.
No, I never.
Be president, brother.
Is there a time your brother was minister?
I never worked.
That's all right. Ask president, brother.
Please, I don't know how virtual looks like. The thing about virtual, I don't know how it looks like.
Your brother or your sister ain't show it to you?
So I will say this to you. In this election, Councillor Gongo is going to be the leader of the opposition on Wednesday morning. I can tell you that.
Thank you. Mr. We still got a few more callers, so callers, please. I give you 1 minute each. Hassan Kone.
Yeah, Dennis, thank you for taking my call. And I just got to say this quickly in the little 1 minute I got. And go after me on going into your panelists. Great show tonight. I just got a quick advice to people that say, "Oh, if you don't support United Party, you aren't patriotic," right? The thing my advice today is that the good things doesn't come easy. Anything that's good, it don't really come easy. You see, we don't support the United Party because of personal convictions, right? When we look on our train, everybody on our train. Yeah. So that's why I say the people are using Joseph Walker as a Trojan horse. And there's people out there that they computer, right? A Trojan horse is something that disguises itself as friendly, right? A virus, but when they attack, right? Once you accept it into your system, right? A lot of other different things start to crash the system. So us looking at Joseph Walker's age and how frail he is, right? That's the thing that's scaring us, given who's on the train behind him. Right, and this is the thing, when people get old, right, age as a whole, it's like a sickness by itself. Right, I got a grandfather the same age as Joseph Walker. Right, we help him with things he can barely even see some things. Then I have to physically help him sometimes, right, help him with to understand certain things or how to use certain things. So that's the thing that we worry about, because people that have sinister mind that will be beyond Joseph Walker will start to influence his decision.
Thank you.
So those are the things that we see that we're afraid of, Dennis. But thanks for the show tonight. We can't just replace Joseph Walker with anybody.
Thank you.
Because we must go. Joseph Walker must go. But we got other options. We got Gongo, we got Moluba, and we got Komis. Please, let's make this best decision instead of just trying to change Joseph Walker because we are in the name of changing George. We are. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you. Let me bring on Mr. Michael Patmo.
Thank you, my brother. Come in.
Yes, thank you so much.
Better behave yourself.
I will just speak to the video that we all have seen.
Hey,
the video basically is the scariest thing that I've seen and the most concerning thing I've seen on this whole campaign. Not the crowds, not all the yelling and screaming and the cussing, but the video. And what I would like to urge every single Liberian to do is to ask himself one question. Who is going to be whispering into the ears of a President Boyka? Who is going to be whispering into the ears of a President Boyka? My son is 23 years old. 6 years from now, he's going to be almost 30 years old. Right now, he lives with me. He goes to school. 6 years from now, he might be married, have his own home. 6 years, a short time to waste. And that is what makes these elections so crucial. And that is where I want to stand tonight. Thank you all.
Thank you. Let me bring our next caller. We have two more to go. Flomo Livingstone. Flomo.
Yeah, Ganesh, thank you. Good show.
Oops.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I just want to talk about the issue. Look, it's a waste of time discussing about issue, all right? We got a useful leader who is a failure. I don't even want to talk about issue. Look, Mr. Kwame, the hypocrisy in the Liberian community is so bad. He's talking about the people around Joseph Parker. See the people around Mr. Kwame. the lack of Musa Brady, the lack of Benjamin Philly, who sold LeBron passport, John Winslow, all these guys are working the United Party. He said the United Party was corrupt, but he took all the guys that are working the same corrupt government and bring them close to Mr. Comey. Mr. Comey do not make decisions on his own. He got Musa Brady controlling him. When Musa Brady said go this way, he go that way. Anything Musa Brady said, that's what Mr. Comey do. Mr. Comey is not a leader. He's a complete failure, like George Weah. George Weah is a complete failure. So that's why the people will elect Joseph Imam Boakai to be the next president, no matter how we see about it. So when people come in, let's talk about the substance that will benefit the country, all right? So let's start talking about age and stuff like that. Mr. Comey don't have no integrity. But let me understand. Yeah, just 10 seconds. From what I heard on screen today, from Mr. Gongo, our culture is his integrity. He lied that he resigned because of corruption in the other government. That was completely lie because John Moro came out and said that was a lie. And he said his offer was audited, and John Moro said that's a complete lie. So I'm trying to question Mr. Gongo's integrity too. He doesn't have one. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me take the last caller for the night. Caller, your name and where you calling from.
Hello.
Hello, your name, please.
Oh, this is Roland Freeman from Columbus, Ohio.
Go ahead, Roland.
Thank you. I want to talk about a few things. You know, the issue of age in our body politics that Liberian and I so curious about and forgetting about discussing in this time of our election period that has to do with what the next president will do in the first 1 year to improve Liberian lives. I think it's very important. But let me go back a little bit. My friend sitting on our show, he support of Kennedy that is in bed with a man who stole $4.something million of our road fund that is used to develop road projects in our country. Musa Hassan Belidi, who is in bed with Cummins. My friend Anthony gay on our show tonight, and I'm sitting here shaking. Young men of that age don't know what corruption is. Mm-hmm. That the road from Monrovia to Grand Gillette is not paved. The reason why you cannot drive one daytime and reach Grand Gillette because one man took $4.5 million and put it into his personal use. And Kumi said, hey, it is not a problem. I will keep you on my side. Now, this is the man who they call Mr. Clean Hands, who is going to fight corruption when he becomes the president of our country. Now, we need to stop being so hypocritical around here and facing reality. Joseph Imam Boakai has not taken a dime for anybody. Now, I want you to show me who on
Dennis, that information is false. There's no record of Musa Belidi stealing $4.1 million road funds. That is completely false.
No. There is a record of Musa Belidi taking road fund money. There's a record.
I listened to you. You called a figure earlier, and that is false.
No, what happened was he owed gas money.
And he has not paid our money. The reason why I not paid
now you're putting it right.
So owing money is the same as stealing?
He owed.
Because I owe student loan.
I know, right?
No.
You said no. All right, but thank you.
Yeah, let him be brief, man.
No, we're not going to allow those kind of things here. It's different from stealing.
Thank you for calling. Thank you for calling.
But thank you. You made your point. Thank you.
I think you're trying to shove it up on the show because
I know. Go ahead, flow, my brother, flow.
Okay, and I understand that when you not support what I'm saying here is okay, but you should allow me to express what I'm saying here because it makes sense to others. If it doesn't make sense to you,
you did, my brother.
We fact check. Musa Belidi is different from stealing the way you pull it. We have to fact check that. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you, people. Our good friend Sam Wallow has been calling for Tiawon Gonglo through Zwedro. Let me play that clip.
I'm confused.
They got drafted.
Why are we playing that at the end?
That grassroots campaign.
Man.
I'm surprised that the people of Grand Gila.
That grassroots campaign.
For the people of Grand Gila, when they are ready
Really, you are a problem. To be honest, you are a problem.
So the three of our brothers were incarcerated by alien government. Taiwan Congo stood up free of charge for our brother to be released.
So why you not supporting Taiwan?
I already have a party.
Mr. John,
No.
I was supporting ANC.
They need to go in the bed.
Already,
You were talking about Boga, are you lying down?
No.
But Taiwan Congo have done enough for Grand Gila County. I can say that publicly.
So you should be supporting Taiwan.
I have already had a party prior to Taiwan Congo getting the rest.
So you're supporting a party that doesn't do anything well for the people of Grand Gila?
But Joe, you decided
I didn't support. I didn't join the ANC because of Grand Gila.
But Joe, two things can be correct at the same time. Who said 3% can support like 3%
I
can
know why you
be
keep
good.
going back and forth. The Taiwan Congo is on grassroots politics. Can we just go?
All right, folks, in cyberspace, we have come to the end of this Friday night debate. We'll get back to our panelists here for their 30-second closing each. They were so feisty tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Talking across the board was like, I think they called it what? That debates. Well, anyway, it was a great discussion. I admire the discussion here tonight. You came to debate, and I think we had a great show. But this time, we'll go around the room and get your 30-second closing. And don't forget, we're talking prediction and close with your prediction. Let's start with the sedition here, Mr. Jaron Gamer.
Thank you very much for a great show. As usual, I would like to address some of the myths around here. Someone said Joseph Boakai has no deficiency in public politics. Let me just remind you that Joseph Boakai came into politics in the 60s. He was a cadet. And then he went to the University of Liberia. He went to CWA. He went to the University of Liberia and he joined the Liberian government under the Tubman administration in 1971. And he had been in government since the 1960s. He is not he has been a son of the establishment.
71.
No poor man from excuse me. Listen, if you guys are not going to do this profession, then you don't need to be on this platform. This is not where you come to joke. This is serious stuff here. When you are talking, I sit silently and listen. And when there's other people's turn, you talk. So next time when you're on the show, I wouldn't come because that's not my style.
I'm glad I'm on your skin today.
You're not on my skin. You're outside my skin.
I'm enjoying it. Good.
This is
Maurice, to be honest, I don't know why I stay with you today. You're just talking on the floor, interrupting. I really don't like interruption like that, but sometimes this is part of the discussion. Well, let's come to Jimmy Eastman. You're closing, Jimmy.
Wow, it has been a very interesting discussion here. You know, I wanna just address something quickly for you. You know, racism and tribalism have been used as a distraction. It instead of you concentrating on what the person is saying, they just say, "Oh man, I meant a black man, don't mind him," or "I meant a this man, don't mind him." So our problem is not that our differences that divide us, is our inability to recognize and accept each other and leverage these differences to build a stronger union. And people like this coming in and calling, they are jealous of Liberia because we have a unique identity. They come from different countries, but they want to tell us how we should live with each other. we have to be careful with that because there are people, sole intent is to defeat Liberia and what it's initially was set out to do. But when it comes to these elections, we can see that we finally have a democracy to defend. And it's unfortunate if we allow ourselves to go down a road that we cannot see the good in each of the candidate and decide which one we want better. I think we must guide ourselves because the ugliness ready to show its head in different forms. And if we're not careful, we can be persuaded by people distracting us toward another end, whereas like the best for Liberia is supposed to be our goal. I'll leave it there.
And Jimmy will win.
Who will win? The winner is going to go to a runoff.
All right. Thank you. Comrade Wilson, yeah, Wilson, please.
So I think it has been a wonderful night. And from all stretch of imagination, Joseph Yuma Boakai is going to win these elections. And we are very hopeful that we will win the first round of the elections. We are targeting a minimum of 100,000 votes we're going to win. And if we're to go to the second round of elections, we're definitely beat George Weah face down. It is no doubt about that. Why will we win these elections? It is because the Liberian people have seen through the incompetency of George Manuel Weah. The Liberian people have seen through that the CPP is not a better alternative. They know Joseph Yuma Boakai. Joseph Yuma Boakai is a grassrooter, a man who rose from grass to grace. This is the story of Joseph Yuma Boakai, a story that inspires, a story that gives hope, a story that motivates people that anybody can become somebody in Liberia. You do not have to come from an elite class. This is the Joseph Yuma Boakai story. This is the reason why the people from Wasonga, the people from Bon County, from Bomi County, the people, international partners from Star Radio, YMCA, and all of these schools that Joseph Yuma Boakai helped establish the likes of Bethesda Mission. If you know Bethesda, know to know that Joseph Yuma Boakai is a founding member of Bethesda Mission High School. So the people know Joseph Yuma Boakai. He's not a pompous man. He's not a man that goes out and blow his own trumpet. He's always been an easygoing man who believes in the aspiration of the people. Listen to me, Ansony and Dennis. I had an opportunity with a one-on-one encounter with Joseph Yuma Boakai. I know who this man is. I know what he does. I know his vision for Liberia. And I want to say to the rest of the Liberians that are following, call your people in Liberia. You just interrupted me. I have to regain my time. Call your people in Liberia. Tell them that Joseph Yuma Boakai is the alternative. If we can come out on Tuesday and vote for Joseph Yuma Boakai, we don't have to go to second round. We will save a lot of money, for going to second round, because Joseph Yuma Boakai is the man that paid attention to details. Forget about age. To become president is not a John Rambo game. It's about wisdom. It's about experience. It's about telling people to do the right thing. You're going to be lifting weight. If that weightlifting game, then we should be looking for Arnold Schwarzenegger to be contesting as president around it. It's about wisdom and experience. Vote Joseph Yuma Boakai, and I hope my brothers in CPP will see the reason not to waste their votes and put it behind Joseph Yuma Boakai to save the country from extra funding in the second round. Thank you. It has been a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Wisdom, even if you don't know where you are.
Listen to me. No, I think
no, gentlemen, you're not going to do this.
You finished talking before I talk, so I didn't interrupt you.
Please go ahead, Mr. Gale.
You don't know where you are.
Anthony, go ahead and give your closing, please.
Mr. Dennis, I want to ask you my first 15 seconds of my closing. Play that video for me. Even if I can use that video as my closing, please play it for me. Joseph Yuma Boakai video.
We're not standing there.
So thank you for coming. Distinguished Senator, the press.
Welcome, Mr. Former Vice President.
Thank you.
It's clear. Welcome, Mr. Former Vice President. He said, yeah. And then he froze and then asked the gentleman. The gentleman has to whisper in your ear. Wisdom without knowing where you are is a waste of my time. Liberia have gone through a lot. As a young man whose childhood was robbed, I was chased out of that country. Like many young Liberians who are eligible now to vote, Perry were also chased out of Liberia. They never experienced what we consider today the normal day Liberia. And you're telling me a man who have enjoyed government and refused to retire and right now doesn't even know where he is should be an option in this election? There's something wrong with that picture. Folks, on October 10th, you're going to go to the polls. You are going to vote for a better Liberian for all Liberians, regardless of what tribe you belong to, regardless of what educational background you have, regardless of how you speak, how you sound. Because you are Liberian, when you are janitor, when you sweep the floor, when you map that floor, you must get paid on time. You don't have to strike or protest for your salary. That is the reason why Alexander Benedict Cummings had proposed to the Liberian people that instead of waiting for 30 days, you will get paid every 2 weeks on time. Vote a Liberian who cares about you. They say, oh, he failed. He has not even lead a country for the first time. How can he fail? Something that you're never giving to him. So that just clearly tells you that they don't even know what they're talking about. The fear from the United Party is to meet Alexander Benedict Cummings in the second round. Any candidate, whether Josh Weah, whether Joseph Yuma Boaka, that will face Alexander Benedict Cummings in the second round, it is a clear defeat to them. This is the reason why they will beat that one round victory vote thing, one round victory thing, or say we don't want to waste money to go to a second round. Ladies and gentlemen, the United Party have had an opportunity to lead our country. You rejected them 6 years ago. The CDC came into office. You are also angry. You're going to reject the CDC. The United Party and the CDC should not even be discussing of the future of Liberia. The United Party is the past. The CDC is the present. CPP, led by Alexander Benedict Cummings, is the future of Liberia. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. You seem to run more against Boaka than we are.
Yeah.
Because we are behind us.
Mr. Kuma.
Okay.
Mr.
Kuma is behind us.
So we all know that, you know.
It's a United Party. We are.
You're all right now, Anthony. You're all right now. You're all right.
Mr. Kluman, you're protected. You're closing.
We all know that the ANC is an auxiliary to the
not
CDC.
ANC, but CPP.
You spoke, man, so give me a chance now. Let me speak, yeah?
I'm confused. I
know. I want to do less than 30 seconds because I have to really go. So thanks for the opportunity again. We know that, you know, some of the rambling that we've heard tonight, it's just a bunch of, you know, rambling. Like I said, beyond the United Party and the CDC, if Cummings is able to accumulate 250,000 votes next week, Friday, I would join the CPP, I would join the ANC as a member of that political movement. Because I know that the last election, Cummings got about 112,000 votes. I don't think he's able to double it. But if it happens, then miracles do happen sometimes. So if it happens, then it happens. I want to respond to Kelebo a little bit. My brother Kelebo and I, we have very, very strong relationship. So when he comes on here and make allegations of me working at finance ministry as director, Kelebo, his older brother that he's campaigning for, his elder sister, all three serve in the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government in very top positions. His sister was superintendent of Nima County. His brother was minister of labor. He became assistant minister. Ellen don't know me. If you ask her right now, put me in front of her, she don't know me. I did work for the government at the time, but she doesn't know me. But I'm playing technical role. So when someone like that come and make these allegations about me, you know, working in finance ministry, it's preposterous. And then, you know, this thing about age is the truth of the matter is that in the United States, we have, you know, an 80-year-old plus man who is the president of the United States. He has fallen, walking, he stumped his foot and he fall. He has, you know, ran down the stairs, slipped a few times, almost fell to the ground. and we hear this man, his success as president of the United States, we can start counting to, we're not even finished. He has broken so many records that we can't even count. He has ensured that all of us are included in this governance process in this country. We have a guy who has a native Nigerian name that is second to the most powerful man controlling the U.S. economy. How can you, when somebody like that is thinking about diversity in that sense and thinking about how ordinary Americans can benefit from their success? You take it and you sit down here all day and talk about 80-year-old man. At the end of the day, none of us can tell what I'm gonna do today. The show is over. Why are you bringing them on the show? It's over.
But Amala, we're leaving.
Was he coming? You coming?
I see you. Thank you for the show. Good night. I see you. I'm out.
Thank you. Mr. Nambo, you're closing.
Yeah, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we had a good show. I think the audience will bear that out. I just quickly wanted to remind Mr. Wilson here. He said Joe Barker is a grassrooter. He came from the grassroots. Let me inform you, we initiated Joe Barker into politics from the UPP. He came into the UPP. He was unable to take advantage of the grassroots strategies that were available to him. He went to the primary. He couldn't afford to face Matthews. That's why he ran away from the UPP. Joe Barker went to CWA. That's not where grassrooters go to school.
You play your class now. You play your class.
I'm not playing class. You're interrupting me. So when you talk about his grassroots pedigree, the man was working with the farmers. He was being paid to do that. When he worked for LPMC, he wasn't working free of charge. He was paid. So you have to be able to separate these things as you pitch for your candidate. You understand me? I'm sorry Jerome left the show. I think he's really feeling uncomfortable tonight. It looks like the numbers that are coming back to them are not looking good. So I feel for him. It's finally coming to a boil. We've been saying this over and over. They haven't been paying us any mind. The bad road medicine is taking helicopter to tour the country. What does that say about him? He should be traveling the roads, right? And the people know, the people are watching. When I talked earlier, I didn't want to talk about the vice president's video, and I honestly believe that he's a good man, but we have to be honest with ourselves. If Mr. Wilson and Mr. Croma and other people are going to be handling this old man, and they should do a better job. You should be a wise old man. But from what we saw, what bothers us most about what we saw is the fact that he has an MDR vice president breathing down his shoulder. Do you understand? So it just confirms the speculation all along. Who is actually going to be running the show? Who is running the show? One more minute, then.
We got to end this thing.
All right. Bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, October 10th, we are confident the CPP is going to be in a run-up because we've done all the right moves. We made all the right moves. We've done all the right things. We're very happy. And we'll talk about it next week.
Thank you. Let me remind all of you, today is 41 years since the Norway Camp mining disaster in Cape Mount County. That's the NIOC. What have we learned since then? Tomorrow at 7, I'm going to be hosting 3 persons plus 1 who were at the Norway Camp at the time it happened. Dr. Kamambala, Mr. James Bawi, and Dr. Brutus Cooper. We'll also have Dr. Maurice T. Kofa, who's working as an environmentalist. Join me tomorrow at 7 for 41 years since the Norway Camp mining disaster. What have we learned? You don't want to miss that. Telvi, you're closing.
Well, I just want to say it was a good show overall. I enjoyed the engagement. It's debate, man. We got to make some noise. So it was a good show. I want to echo what Ansony said to, what's his name? The caller. I forgot his name.
Ali
I think we need to express ourselves professionally without bringing all these divisive comments and other things, but still make your point. So I think I'm glad that you guys call him out because I was going wrong with that. And clearly it doesn't represent the show, the platform. You guys do great at keeping the, the bar of professionalism high. So I'm glad you guys call it out. I want to say to the UP guy, Wilson, he left, but he'll get the message. When you come on the show to, nothing against Mr. Puerca, but when you come on the show to sell your candidate and you talk about how he's grassroots and all these different things, it's important that you state dates, create some timelines. If first it's just, oh, he did this, and you go check on the website. This is the time for you to educate not only the public, but to sell your candidate. And some people just don't take things on the face value, like some of us. We need dates. Okay, in 2020, he was head of, YWCA, blah, blah, blah. Don't send us to no website. This is the website. Where we are right now is the website. Give us the details, give us the facts. So that's what I want to say about good show. So the people in Liberia who got voting rights, vote right, vote smart, don't vote for rights. Don't vote for favor. Don't vote because of, he's my cousin, my auntie, my this, she's my this, and stuff like that. Vote your conscience, because at the end of the day, you gotta deal with the consequences, good or bad. So vote right, most of all. But in the end, I must say this: we want a violent-free election. So we say no to violence. Express your vote, your differences in a better way, violence-free. So that's what I have to say. Have a good night and enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody.
Thank you. Mame, I may be, fair to you. You're 1 minute closing.
Yeah, so
Mame, man. Welcome.
Yeah, I've been struggling between work and some kind of operation here, but anyway, it's good to conclude in 1 minute. And I will push back on the ANC people. They Jeremiah Kun you're condemning today was the same Jeremiah Kun you're running behind. But it backfired, then he turned to the elephant in your hand. So I wanted to put that off first.
Consider him in context. Thank you.
Hold on, Mr. Victor. The man
have 1 minute. Man.
Yeah, so they were running behind Kun, they turned out that they were not successful, and then they come back now, Kun turned to, elephant that nobody's supposed to associate with. I mean, that's double standard. You don't do that. And then their political party official response was, we're just making fun out of him, we're just trying. What kind of serious political party would say they engaging somebody just to make fun? But I leave that.
Remember, actually, they said they were vetting.
Yeah, they were vetting. Why would you?
That's also the favorite part there.
Yeah, you don't want somebody while you vetting. But anyway, we want to send our final voice to Liberians. Councillor Gonglo is on the ballot. It's the agent of change. Don't go to the poll on October 10th and waste your vote. Don't do that. This is how people waste their vote. This is how people waste their time. When you campaign,
go ahead.
Now who paid for promotions of next?
That is something else.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, when you go to an electoral process, you spend all the years, 6 years, campaigning that you want to vote so that you can get better rules, so that you can fight corruption, so you can establish war crime code, so you provide schools, health care. When you struggle for 5 years to achieve those things, and you vote for somebody who doesn't do it, then you spoil your vote. Then you waste your vote. 2017, Liberians wasted their vote. Even though George Weah was the most popular president, everybody was running behind him. Oh, the man will win, so we just go in there. The man will win. If you ask my dad, if you ask my dad, I say, oh, went there because of why the masses were going. They went there, they wasted their vote. When we are begin president, he did not fight corruption, he did not establish war and economic crime code, he did not do anything significant for the Liberian people. We are telling you again today, do not just waste your vote. Vote for somebody who can create the opportunity for you, who has that track record. And that person is Councillor Gonglo. His record is there. You can point to it. You can reference it. At Labor Ministry, he created conditions. He enforced liberalization policy that created jobs. With Justice Ministry, he changed a detention center into training center for lawyers and ensured that all lawyers across the country were law school graduates. So a lot of reforms he coming with. We can't talk all because we came late, unfortunately, but looking forward to having, a final show before the voting day. But don't waste your vote.
Thank you. Thank you. Everybody, you're listening to the vote flower we're talking here. So tomorrow, join us for the
I
news
like that
English. And guess what? Glendy will be joining me. You don't want to miss it. Glendy, your closing comment.
So good show, very highly spirited show tonight.
For tomorrow.
Highly spirited show. I do want to encourage Liberians out there who do have the opportunity to exercise their right to vote, to go out and vote. Change is the only constant variable, but change is what all of us are hoping to achieve in Liberia. So we hope that the people will go out and vote. I still believe that there will be a runoff and it will be between Boyka and Cummings. And I'm standing on that. I don't think President Weah is going to go to the second rounds. If he's the first round come, he's going to be out. The man is still out there trying to get out the votes for himself. But I think his record is the one that's going to eat him up. So thank you for the show. It's been good being here tonight. I saw Ansony was trying to keep us quiet, but he couldn't make it with us tonight.
Thank you. Tomorrow, please join us at 3 p.m. The FOL Marketplace, that's our Business, Economic, and Finance Forum, will be also talking about the elections and how, your prediction, the election forecast, and everything would center around money. What role money is playing to that, and who's going to make the economy better when they become president. With all that, join Gabriel, Tabito Carter, and the crew for election forecast on the market. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Sieh.
Well, on that note, we have come to the end of the last Friday night debate before election. So on behalf of Focus on Liberia, we want to encourage Liberians in Liberia to exercise their right to vote and do it peacefully and stay away from violence. The politicians for whom they fight have proven to not even care about them. And so let them protect themselves, and the best way to do it is to stay away from violence, cast your vote, and go home. When the violence breaks up, the politician will be thinking about their wives and their children and how to fly them out of the country. So do yourself the almost right thing for yourself. Vote, be peaceful. Thank you for watching. We'll see you another time. We will now close with our song that says, "We are all Liberians," and indeed we are all Liberians.